Hello and welcome to the Duquesne Sports live stream here on DSTV. We got Duquesne and St. Bonaventure today. I'm joined by two fellas now. We've expanded the crew from 2 to 3. It's fantastic. I got Dylan Fisser who's going to slide on in. I'm going to have Nick Fernball who's making sure we don't get locked out.
You slid too far.
You slid too far. That's okay. Yeah, actually I've done that before. Yeah, so Duquesne and St. Bonaventure, we got to start this. I think we got to start the game on there.
Right. You call it.
We might miss a set. No, I don't think we missed a second. I think it's.
We sit out the lid side.
Yeah, we have.
If ESPN wants to cooperate.
I'm actually eating too, so we're really having a fun time. Here. Oh, here we
I
go.
did not bring any snacks, but I did bring my water jug.
Heck yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
audio
here we
there.
go. What's going on? In the
We are
corner?
live.
No, so St. Bonaventure starting 5. Jonah Hinton, Noah Belonga, Melvin Council Jr., Lajay Jones, and Noel Brown. So, pretty similar. Yeah, so that was.
How we doing?
Interesting to see Noah Bologna in there, Jack.
Yeah, correct.
He is third straight start for him.
Nice.
They're coming off the bench all the year. He's been pretty good as a freshman. This is his third start. It's going to be interesting to see what role he plays. Played all 40 minutes versus URI
Oh,
a couple games ago. Only 14 now. So it's going to be interesting.
he had 14 and a half in the last time
Yep.
we played.
Only
Yeah.
14 last time out. It's going to be interesting to see if they go with rolling him the whole game or if they take him out.
Now, last time Duquesne St. Bonaventure played, Duquesne actually had 14 threes. That
Yeah.
was, without doubt, their best input of the year from beyond the arc.
Put up 34 of them to land 14. So it was quite the effort in the attempts, but it did work out. So we'll see if they do that again.
It was a chucking party. And that will start things off. St. Bonaventure has the ball. Melvin Council handling it. Digs down low for Jones. Jones with a dribble handoff to Moore. Council now on the left wing. Trying to make a move around Matus, so he'll hand it off instead to Noel Brown. You don't want him at the top of the key, but he makes a move inside in the post and right hook, he's got it.
This is unbelievable. That's an unbelievable turn from Noah Brown, and he's probably going to be one of the toughest guys to stop on both sides for either Duquesne or St. Bonaventure. His size and just his strength. I watched it last year. He was just a unit down low.
Dinkins has it at the top of the key. He's trying to make a move there. He gives to Dixon. Dixon sets a screen for Horonsky. Now on the right wing, it's Dinkins. Dinkins trying to dance on Moore. Drives in on the right side. Can't get a shot up. Kicks out to the corner. Crawford fading away 3. No good. Rebounded by Council.
Yeah, so Duquesne does go with the 3-point attempt right off the bat there, like we were just talking about. See if they go back to that first time, that strategy when they played the Bonnies, just launching threes.
There you go. There's a steal. Wilborn getting in on the action. Dinkins can't really push him much on the fast break. Gives to the corner Matus. Last time we did a live stream, Matus decided to put up 13 points in the first half. That was something else. Crawford for 3. He's got it. Duquesne is on the board. It's 3-2 now.
It's interesting to start. You brought it up, Dylan. They just went with back-to-back threes to start the game. And I'm curious to see if they're going to keep that up.
And Matus and Crawford getting action as well. They've been 2 of the best 3-point shooters for Duquesne, along with Dinkins, obviously.
You got Wilborn to jump inside. That's an and 1 for Lajay Jones, who had 11 in the prior Duquesne St. Bonaventure contest. Wow, that was it. These jerseys are awesome from St. Bonaventure, by the way. Very old school. I know my father would approve of it. These are nice jerseys.
Who had the most points for Bonaventure last time around?
Actually, it was Noel Brown who had 19. Council had 17.
Noel Brown actually had a double-double in that game. He had 10 rebounds as well.
right.
So, certainly going to be a factor in this one because he got that first bucket. So they're going too early, but Duquesne now just down 1.
Also, he had a block in that one, Noel Brown, for the record. Dave Dixon had a big game last time out. He gives to Dinkins, who on the right wing slips it inside for Wilborn. Wilborn had a tough time converting on layups this year. He misses 2.
Wilborn
He puts up
taking on the
Jesus.
whole team.
Good Lord. Yeah,
That's
he
insane.
was. Here's Dinkins. Duquesne with their fourth shot of the possession, and he's got it. A long ball from Trey Dinkins, and a fourth time's a charm, apparently, and Duquesne leads 6-4.
That was a drive that was just all Dinkins and Wilborn.
Yeah.
I mean, that pass from Dinkins to Wilborn was just
nice
unreal.
pass.
3 unbelievable rebounds from Wilborn.
Yeah, make that 63 3-pointers on the year for Dinkins. He leads the team.
I think that put him over 2. I think that put him at 1,000 points in his career as well because he was.
Oh, really?
He was 2. I remember watching the broadcast just on against Fordham, and he said he was 2 points shy of being at 1,000.
Oh, I don't know if that's. I trust you more than I trust myself sometimes, so I'm going to say that's right. Well, you can always look. I just think you're going to have to add up different years, and I was never good at math, so. Chance Moore's first shot is good from the free throw line. He drew a foul just a couple seconds ago. I'm going to take a bite out of my burger, so.
It's going to be important for Duquesne to kind of capitalize off of that momentum last week in terms
Yeah.
of the free throwing. They got to really stay on top of that because it made up for a lot of those missed threes that they made in the game against Fordham.
I mean, they won a game that was uncharacteristic of them, honestly, this season. Between the made free throws and they rebounded really good as well, which helped things.
Yeah, they went 80% free throwing throughout the game. I think it was like 81 or 2 averaged out.
Dinkins driving in. He's hot. He's looking for something. Dinkins dancing, putting it up. No good. That was a heat check. But Chabi Beret, actually, he came into the game. He got a rebound, but lost it out of bounds. That's the first time I've seen Chabi in like 5 or 6 games,
It's
actually.
been a while since we've seen Chavi.
We haven't seen Chabi since we started
I
doing
think got tangled up
streams.
there. But, yeah, I guess he just
Yeah.
lost balance.
Yeah, doesn't look like there was anything. It's right home about in terms of a foul, so St. Bonaventure will get a chance here to take another lead. It's 6-6 with 16:35 to go in the first half of action here. Just getting started early here between Duquesne and the Bonnies. And if you're watching this, Woj, hello. And a nice block by Chabi inside. Max Edwards will bring it up. He just came into the game. Coast to coast leaves for
Chabi.
Chabi, who jams it home.
What hustle from Edwards there?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a really nice drive.
I mean, one of you two highlighted Edwards was going to be the player of the game
Yeah.
in the pregame.
He
So I
like-
think it was Dylan.
Yeah, he led the Dukes in that win when they beat them 75-57. He had 17 points in that one.
Noel Brown inside over the head of Chabi. You couldn't have played much better defense there. Noel Brown's got 4.
I'm telling you, he's so tough to guard down.
Not much you can do to 6'11".
Yeah, he's probably, in my opinion, one of the most
He
intimidating
uses
big.
and he plays like it too. He plays so strong.
He's probably, in my opinion, a top 3 most intimidating big men in all the A10 this
and
season.
he's very hot. He's 12.6 points per game, but over the past 4, it's been 17 a game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's hot.
And a little trouble in the corner there. And I'm not sure
St. Bonaventure
what
got
they're going to
dinged up on a
call.
foul, maybe.
Obviously, it looks
Or
like
maybe a timeout.
it's certainly possible. Maybe Duquesne tried to get a timeout there, off there in the corner. They were trapped, and it looked like Matouche tried to throw it off of a Bonaventure player. It didn't go out of bounds. They actually ended up recovering it again, and they had it settled at the top of the key. And then the whistle blew. So obviously something probably happened. We're going to figure that out for you. But for now, it's a TV timeout. So
It's interesting early to see Duquesne rotating a lot, like getting Wilborn in there early.
Yeah.
I like that from Drew Joyce because I mentioned this. I touched on it in the pregame show. Duquesne last time they beat St. Bonaventure had each player score a bucket and a rebound.
Good rebound, yeah.
That's contribution on both sides in every category from every player. I think that's got to happen again for them to take this one, and it looks like they seem onto that strategy.
And I think it's interesting you bring that up because, last game, or on Wednesday, it almost happened again. Everybody had a rebound, and the only person who didn't have a bucket was Max Edwards. They played pretty good against
Yeah,
Fordham. That's probably one of the most complete team efforts they've had since Like, honestly, the start of the year when they beat, like, schools like URI, GW, and St. Bonaventure.
Believe me, I've spent a lot of time looking into this team and looking into the types of scoring that they do in their wins, and they don't have single guys go off and score double digits that often. It really doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I think they had one game where they had five players score over 9 points this whole season.
Wow.
It doesn't really happen that often. It's not even an every starter contribution thing for the Dukes. It's every starter, every guy on the bench
every
coming
player.
off the bench and contributing on the score sheet in every way.
So the Phillies were up 6-1 in their game, their spring training
They lost, didn't
game.
they?
They lost 7-6.
Attaboy.
It was a great start.
We love spring training. That's the fun time when nobody's playing.
Cool spring training, but dude, how do you only the Phillies would find a way to lose that game, dude.
Yeah.
Only they would. Matus Swarovski gets it off the inbound. He lost it. He kind of tripped over himself, and now on this fast break, Chance Moore has it stripped from him. Went off of his knee. It's Duquesne ball.
That's a great recovery from Rozier as well.
Absolutely.
Kind of bailed him out of a bad mistake from Matus.
Classic
Yeah.
Kareem Rozier's little punch out there as such a great player he's been. You know, we talk about him, and in the whole NCAA, still top 10 in that assist turnover ratio.
Still.
It's plays like that. All season he's been up there.
Dang.
Yep. Common Creamer's your W. Here's Rozier, gives over to Crawford, who started out at the top of the key, now goes to the right wing, tries to get inside for Chabi below the A10 logo. It's turned over. Pass from Council, it's stolen away, ends up in the hands of Edwards. Edwards to left wing, corner 3 for Ronsky. No good. He was in rhythm, he just could not hit it. Juice had a good game as well last time out against Fordham as well.
Yeah.
So, Brown's going to try a 3. He's going to have a 3. Don't see that one often from Noel Brown, but he hits, and he's got 7 of the first 11 points for St. Bonaventure. He didn't attempt a 3 in the last game.
It's one of those cases where I feel like a guy is so good, and no matter what his skill set is, you got to respect him regardless.
Yeah, Edwards is going to try a 3 in return. He does not hit. And almost losing at his Council. Council out of control, throwing it up. And they call a foul. Matus is shocked. I have to assume it probably will go against him. Or no, not
it's going to be on
against
against
Edwards.
Kareem, I would believe.
Edwards or Kareem?
It's the thing that's so hard to guard about
Kareem.
Council is you don't know if he's going to go up with it or swing it out because he's almost as much of a facilitator as he is a scorer himself. He is 1/3 of the entire team's assists. Melvin Council,
Just
and,
him.
and he's
Wow.
their
Wow.
top scorer. He averages 14 a game. I mean, so when he gets in a position like that, he drives in. It's so hard to guard a guy like that. And then he's gonna bang the free throws.
He's a jack of all trades, it sounds like.
I would say so.
Yeah. By the way, what it looks like is that there's no Netchus today.
Dang.
No Jakob Netchus.
Yeah, he isn't even dressed.
Yeah, he missed the Fordham game as well.
Dealing with ankle issues, I believe.
Could be why Chavi's getting more time.
Yeah.
I wonder how much he was battling that versus Dayton because he definitely struggled in that game. I mentioned to Jack
Yeah.
he was 0 for 6 from 3. So certainly would be looking forward to his comeback.
Ronsky driving in, gives inside, Chabi up fakes, puts it up, no good, rebounded there by Noah Belongo. Right, that's how you pronounce it, Belongo? Regardless, he got the rebound. Council driving
we
in
can
with
get a
tear-
check on that. I'll get back to you there.
Nice teardrop from Melvin Council. He's killing the Duke so far. Along with Brown, that tag team has them up 14-8 as Rozier handles it for the Dukes. Give for Ronsky. Now Crawford gives for Edwards. Edwards at the top of the key at that Bonnie's logo, facing pressure. Back to Edwards, driving in, kicks to Beret. He puts it up, and he draws a foul. Deep inside the paint, Chabi Beret getting some touches down low. Kind of went with an up fake to try and get the foul. I thought he could have put it up right away and gotten a layup,
It
but
just seemed like a little bit doing too much because he tried to like use his size to muscle him out also, but lean back on the shot. And
yeah.
he had this, at least it looked like he had the spot down low. But regardless, makes his first shot.
Now here's a spot where me and Nick have lost our collective minds over. And
All
that is a
season?
free throw. Yeah. Look at any of the 3 live streams. I guarantee you we're going to be complaining about the free throws.
St. Joe's wasn't too bad.
Wasn't great.
I think they shot 70% in the St. Joe's game. It wasn't pretty, but they shot 70%. The Dayton one, no, that was rough. That was the one that made me lose my mind.
It was big against Fordham, though. Those points, especially in the second half when they weren't able to land any threes, those free throws were huge. If they had shot like they have been all season, they would not have beat the Rams.
Anyone else? Who are you going to say?
I am curious that Corbett still hasn't checked
That's
in
what
yet.
I was going to say, too. I don't know.
He hasn't checked in once in the 7 minutes the game's gone on.
Yeah. That's weird.
I think he's like
I
first or second in minutes as well. That's weird.
didn't see him on the bench when they showed that view. Nice rebound there by Ronsky.
And guys like Ronsky and Edwards getting that time early on might be a tell that. Well,
I think
Netchus
they'll
isn't
get
in.
more minutes now.
Yeah, and and Chabi. I guess this is less of a game they're trying to get everybody time and more of just
Corner Edwards. Got it!
yeah. There we go. More just them trying to fill the spots, next man up type thing.
I will say this. I think Duquesne has looked much better in the last however many games. I guess 3 or 4 games.
Since the
Just as a
Loyola game.
collective unit, their offense looks better. Well, the defense allowed a wide
Yeah,
open
it's
3 for Lajay Jones.
Big 3 there from Jones for sure.
17-13 St. Bonaventure, but I feel like the offense has looked more. There's more purpose.
It's been that way since the Loyola Chicago
They know,
game.
yeah, they know what they're doing. It's not like possessions where you're like, do they even know what they're doing? The Richmond game
The
was
Richmond
one of
and
those, and
UMass
I'm
were
like,
the
I don't
ones.
know what.
Richmond and UMass were the rough ones for me.
Yeah, and Fordham. The first Fordham game was rough. I
Fordham
thought
was tough luck because that was just one of those games where just like
But it just-
anything could have went
yeah.
wrong in that game.
almost tough lay from Dinkins. I think Dinkins drew the foul there. It would have been a late call. Regardless, we're going to find out that, or maybe he didn't. I think they might have gotten the guy inside covering Dixon. Regardless, 11:28 left in the first half of play. It's St. Bonaventure up on the Dukes 17-13, so a close ball game here tonight. You know, there's also a big game going on in the A10 between number 1 and number 2, George Mason and VCU. We're going to get you updates throughout on that one. That one has 13-14 left in the first. George Mason beating VCU 9-5.
I didn't get a chance to look. Who won the Friday game? Because that was number 3 versus number 4.
I was just about to say that was a
um,
big shakeup. Loyola Chicago. Are you talking Loyola Chicago?
Did they beat Dayton?
Yeah,
Chicago
they beat
beat
Dayton.
Dayton,
Did I
They're-
not say that?
They're now 9-5.
I said this bold
in the
I'm gonna
conference.
make a bold prediction here. I believe when everything's shaped out, number 1's gonna be VCU, number 2's gonna be George Mason, number 3 I think is gonna be St. Joe's.
That is bold.
I think St. Joe's is gonna go 5-0, run the table and end the year on a strong note.
St. Joe's did win today.
I truthfully believe if Eric Reynolds is
Get
there
the heck out
and
of
healthy, he is probably that top 3 most dangerous players in the entire A10. There is not many people I would fear more in the A10 than Eric Reynolds right now.
That's where St. Bonaventure's got to go after this one. They're going at St. Joe's after the
gonna be tough.
Duquesne game.
That's
They
gonna be
got
tough.
yeah, they got a little bit of a cakewalk after that though. They then play UMass at home, and then they go at Davidson to finish off.
Who?
That's St. Bonaventure.
That's a Bonaventure
Yeah.
schedule.
Duquesne a little bit harder, obviously. We know
Yeah.
that. 14th ranked LaSalle after this one, so they got to hopefully should just be a pickup game for them. And then George Mason, first ranked. I believe they've won 11 in a row. Then there's VCU, second ranked, and then fifth ranked at St. Louis. Luckily for Duquesne, though, both of those, the George Mason and the VCU games are
They are
at
home.
the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse, so that could be big with a team that's been very good at home.
I feel like they will steal one at
8-6.
home. I feel like they'll steal the George Mason game.
That could be
If they can
that could
steal
be
that
huge.
one, that would be huge. Indeed.
VCU, I don't know. I think it's because I'm more willing to believe that VCU is the best team in the A10 right now.
I
That's no
also
disrespect
think
to George
that, yeah.
Mason. George Mason's had an unbelievable year.
So they did get a foul on the Dinkins drive, so that's ideal. Also, I want to say this. My goal is to go to LaSalle versus St. Joe's on the final day of the year. Because that game's
really?
in Philly. I'll still be in Philly on
The
spring
two Philly
break.
schools are playing each other.
Yeah. Dude, and
That'll be
LaSalle's new arena.
How
I'm
nasty
hoping to
does
check it
does
out.
Does that game get nasty?
I don't know, but I'd love to see if it gets nasty, man. I like some.
I feel like in-city rivalries have to be,
Dude, they just held the
especially if you're in the same conference.
they just held the finals or the semifinals for the Catholic League basketball the other nights, and the student sections for that were just sick. People care about ball in Philly.
Oh yeah.
Nice lay right there by Lajay Jones. That's a lie. That was actually Belonga.
Yeah.
1915. Duquesne did get 2 free throws to start out this stretch, and Dinkins hit both of them. It's a good sign, actually. Believe it or not, Duquesne hasn't missed a free throw yet, but don't
Gonna
worry.
say Dinkins and Edwards, the two bright spots there
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the free throw.
Edwards
Edwards showing up.
for 3, no good. Rebounded by Melvin Council.
I believe Edwards has shot
Oh, boy.
80%, made
Brown,
made
no
80% of his free throws.
You know what? Brown
Well,
missing a
word
shot
matchup
is
there.
about as good as I thought it would be. Here's Crawford, and he
Bounced
couldn't
off
get.
his hands.
Yeah, that's probably the 4th time it's happened in the last 2 games with calls. Remember that in the Dayton game? There was like 3 of those. Just
I'm hoping that
they.
does not become an issue today.
Oh my God, that.
Because that
Those
was,
are like that is the type of stuff that like sends me through a roof. That.
but
oh
sometimes
my
that's the case.
God,
Just
makes me so
again doing
mad.
too much. He tried to instantly go for the 3. He pumped faked. And he didn't throw the best pass to begin with, and then just bobbled off his fingers. It's a case of sometimes just doing too much.
Yeah, Crawford's been like at some points you see his mental game is just so on. Like he's been so consistent in shooting, but you see him
Oh my
make
God,
those
Chavi
mental
just-
errors.
Those two just went down
Trampled that.
hard.
Jobby just trampled that dude. Edward driving, and he
Amazing.
almost got the fall, but he draws the foul.
And that's what I like to see. I like to see the guys charging in and starting to be more aggressive. Because when that 5-game losing streak happened,
Yeah.
they were just unwilling to charge in and try to draw more pressure or
Well,
draw more contact.
That's been one of the other underlying problems with the free throw shooting is it's not that they're just not making them, but they're not getting
Getting
it.
them.
They're not getting any attempts off because they're not driving in. When you're not taking their shots, you're not going to get better, obviously. But they've definitely improved that as we've gotten towards the end of the season. Max Edwards trying to get the second one in here.
I missed the first. Just right out.
As we're talking about their improvements, and there's the second one goes down.
You see, I haven't been disappointed with Edwards' free throw shooting, so I'm willing to let one fly with him.
I mean, I
but
feel like
there's
a
some
lot of
guys
the
I
problems
can't.
stem from one.
One
individual.
guy might have
Again,
like
ironically,
over
he's not
30
playing
misses.
tonight.
So that maybe the free throw. You know what? He went 4 for 4 from the line last
He did.
last game.
It
so we gotta give him.
it is more of a different lineup in there now. We have, if you think about it, Chabi doesn't typically play that much. Fronsky's getting a lot of minutes. These are guys that might be able to hit their free throws a little bit better.
And Chavi was injured for the past few
Hmm.
games, but even then his minutes started to decrease before that. Oh man, Bologna
it's
going
going foul.
in and
Rozier
This is
hit
gonna be
the
a foul.
floor.
missed it. But yeah, they're gonna call a foul. It's gonna be on Kareem's gonna be a blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Kareem was literally the final guy back. Probably not your best. Not ideal.
I mean, he gave it his best shot.
He
I
did.
felt that was pretty close to a charge, but
I guess.
I feel like it's
I guess a
hard to determine
restricted
what
area.
was a charge. But yeah, I guess that's true.
Couldn't see his feet too well on that angle.
No.
Rozier hit the bench. How many fouls does Rozier have? I feel like he's yeah, that's your problem.
There's Fronsky coming back in now. I like Matus a lot, especially at this time of year. I feel like he gets hot, especially
Yeah.
towards later conference play as well as in the tournament itself. I feel like he turned into a different player. Especially when they went off to Omaha, he just played so well. He was so calculated, and his
And he only played
shooting
limited minutes
percentage.
in that game.
Yeah,
as
and when
well.
he came
Yeah.
in, he was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I was like, he should have been starting. And he's been one of the best 3-point shooters. It's been him, Dinkins, and Crawford.
Speaking of Crawford, he has it. What a pass to Vronsky in a far corner. He drives in and he missed the layup, but a foul is called. And that was a gimme. That's a gimme, but Matu's going to get a chance to shoot from the line.
I gave
That's a
him the
great pass from
commentator's
Crawford.
curse there.
That was wide. Yeah,
I was talking about how great he was.
Jesus. Okay, in fairness, that was a weak call. That was a weak. He tapped him, and they, like after the shot went up, and they called a foul.
Let's see if he can capitalize here.
First free throw's
Got it.
good.
Got it.
Nicely done, Matus Vronsky.
Even just, and it felt like especially like you said, he gets so much better down the stretch. One thing I think that's really important was when we live streamed it in the losing effort against Dayton, he put up 16, and that was a career high. I mean,
Yeah.
and he put up 13 in the first quarter.
Oh well.
Ooh.
You know, you make a free throw, and then somehow you get beat down the other end.
Yeah, St.
And give up a
Bonaventure.
wide open three.
They're
I don't know
moving
what that was
fast.
all- I don't know what that was all
They're
about.
in a rhythm right now shooting. They've been going back and forth between 50 and 60% this whole game.
Yeah, Hinton was the one who hit it. Crawford had a nice look, but he missed. Dinkin tries to give it inside to Edwards. He lost it, turned it over on the pass. Here's Hinton. St. Bonaventure up by 6. Foul called by Cam Crawford. That was a blocking foul at the perimeter, so St. Bonaventure will take it side out here.
That's been a little bit of a struggle this season for Edwards. He leads the team in turnovers. He's got 42. Gives them another chance on the offensive side.
Yeah. Hinton gives for Jones, and Jones leaves for, I believe that's Council. Might not have been. Well, here, no, never mind. Here is Council. For Hinton for 3, Jones, no good, thank God.
And you bring up the turnovers, and it sucks because I think of all the guards, Maximus is probably our best defensive one easily.
Nice try from Matus, he just can't get it to go. Might have been deflected. Now danger up the other way. It was St. Bonaventure playing with some speed. Good job by Crawford to shut that down on the drive by Hinton. But Hinton tries again, gives for a wide open Lajee Jones, who puts it in, and Duquesne finds themselves down by 8. It looks like it's a pretty good crowd there at Riley Center. Now timeout Duquesne. As the crowd rises to their feet in Olean, New York. Yikes.
Lajee Jones already got 9 points. He's
Nice.
certainly a factor in this one. He
Oh, yeah.
typically only scores 10 points per game. He's hot today.
I'm pretty sure Noah Brown's got like 7 to 9 points as well.
They had a lot of. They got a few guys doing heavy lifting. 9 points for Jones, 7 for Brown. I thought that another guy had more, but maybe I'm losing it. I thought Council had more. That's what it was.
Duquesne's just got to get some more shots off right now. It's just they're not really getting them up. No guy has
Turn it
more than
over.
3 attempts right now and only made 1 apiece. No Duke has made more than 1 shot. Somebody's got to get going here. But as for St. Bonaventure, all-around effort, they're doing what the Dukes should be doing.
Yeah.
Getting everybody involved.
6 turnovers for Duquesne so far
That's way too
in
sloppy.
the first 12 and a half minutes. Yeah.
They are rebounding very well, though, Duquesne is.
Oh, yeah. They're doing it.
Offensively, they got 5 to St. Bonaventure's 1. They've got 14 rebounds in total to St. Bonnie's 7.
Yeah.
So that's big for them right now. At least the big men, like I believe you pointed that out in the pregame show, Jack.
Yeah.
That the big men for the Dukes need to have a big day.
Yeah.
But they got to start scoring some as well. They got to keep putting them back up.
Yeah.
Those threes are falling,
Yeah. I think it's
but
just,
they're not really getting good shots off from inside.
make sure. I also have the live stream up here if you want to check that. I will check this out actually. I think it's also. I honestly got. I think it's really. It's dependent on the opponents. I think there's like a lot of people like look up date and stuff. I don't know. That's my theory. YouTube Studio.
And I feel like roughly at this point, like 1 through 5 has pretty much been decided, I believe, barring St. Joe's doing bad at their last stretch. And now I feel like it's just a toss up between who wants 6 through 9 to get off on the first day.
I know you've talked a lot about your doubts of Jordan Mason, Nick.
A little bit.
Not that they.
It's nothing that they're bad. It's just I think they've been on the beneficiary of pulling out a lot of tight, close wins, which is important. But I think if you're constantly
To a certain point.
scraping
yeah.
by, sooner or later the ball's going to drop. It feels like they play like Richmond, like they did last year.
Yeah,
You know
it'll
what?
be
And
interesting
what
when they
happened
come to
last
the
year with
field.
Richmond, yeah. Oh, inside. Trey Dinkins, what a layup. A lot of pressure. Still puts it in. Just 6-point game, fellas. Let's see. Actually, let's not see. I can't
And it's
look
rare
at
to
this.
see. Like it's for once it's their defense that's
Oh,
doing a good job.
Dave
today.
Dixon with the steal. And, Jesus Lord, Crawford settles it down. That
Can't
was
find a great pass there.
Good Lord. Well, wow, that was a great pass him a two, so you just
Hey,
can't
you come
convert
close
it.
on that shot.
They've had a couple of passes to that corner that have been whipped. Oh, and they call a foul. They call a foul. Council draws it. That could have been a lift off the other way for Duquesne if they got to that loose ball. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm not so sure.
I'm guessing
but
that was on Dinkins, but like
I don't even know how the heck it was. I would say it would be on Dixon before Dinkins. I don't know how they called that. All right.
he's gonna get
Here's
that.
Council driving in, and he got it. I'm honestly kind of fortunate they didn't call a foul because that would have been an and one. That's always my biggest concern. So Duquesne down by 8. 6:11 to go here in the first quarter.
But it's rare to
first half,
see
rather,
their
my
their
apologies.
defense has been the main problem today.
Foul called on Jonah Hinton.
The offense is doing overall fine, save for the turnovers.
That's interesting for both sides too, because Duquesne's got the 4th ranked defense. Bonnie's are 3rd, so I thought this one would be very low scoring, but both sides are, like you said, Nick, playing pretty good.
I think eventually Bonaventure is going to slow down a little bit. And I think it's on Duquesne to find that momentum and slow them down. But it's definitely open. It's like totally doable.
Edwards with
Driving in.
another
Whoa!
another nice pass to that corner.
almost, yeah, absolutely. And Crawford almost put whoever the heck that was on a SportsCenter top 10 poster.
That was
Oh my God! Look, oh my God! If he didn't fumble that in midair,
I think he did get fouled in midair. He probably would have. That was.
oh yeah, I think that was Noel Brown. I think he almost got
was.
put
It
on
wasn't
the
Noel
post.
Brown.
Yeah, he looks a little shaken
He was a
up.
little banged up on that one.
I think he got a knee to the guts, which it hurts.
Oh, he coming out.
All right.
And that I think. Oh, is he?
We'll see.
Or I guess he's just gonna stay on the side.
Belanga's in right now,
I guess he's just catching.
but
his
he
breath.
was just subbed in. I
That'll be an
believe
interesting thing to keep a hold of because he's pretty much their primary and really only
Interior
really
rim.
effective.
so.
Yeah.
Protector. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 2 steals as well. He's been
mean,
still got
he's-
the 9 points.
I had a bad feeling he was gonna miss that. I had that feeling in my head.
First
like
one
that,
for
that's like
Crawford
the
doesn't
bad.
go.
Yeah, that's like when you have those that bad feeling, and then it happens. You're like, I knew it. Well, Crawford, if you want to make the second one, that'd be acceptable.
There you go.
And you made it.
Flashes
Fair
that
enough.
one through.
Fair enough. 28-21. 7-point game.
You like to see the defense start playing a little tighter, even if it means they're going to still draw fouls. You got to. They're giving them too many open looks right now.
Yeah, agreed.
They're getting beat on the pick and roll a lot right now.
That's a problem I don't remember
Like that.
us having
And
in
that's
a
gonna
while. I think that
draw
was straight
foul,
up.
yep.
Oh, they call a foul. Oh. I was gonna say I
You're gonna
thought
see
that was
right
a
there.
foul. I
Max's
thought that was a
Edwards
foul
just gets
too, but I
beat.
didn't see anyone. Well, yeah, that's certainly a foul. I just didn't see anyone. The ref put their arm up.
Dave is leading the team in blocks, no question there. I don't think that needs to be said.
No.
He's got probably 40 now on the year.
Whoa.
Came into this one with 39.
He got like 3 or 4 in that game against Fordham, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 4 blocks, I believe. I missed the first one. Hip hip hooray.
Duquesne
Chance
actually
Moore, by the way.
doing better than the
9 for
Bonnies.
9.
Duquesne doing better than St. Bonaventure right now in free throw shooting. They're 8 of 10. Bonnies are 5 of 8.
That's a miracle. 5 for 9. Nope. Nope. 6 for
6
for 9. Whoops.
quick math.
Oops. Uh-oh. Duquesne had a tough time getting it in, but Ronsky end up catching that inbounds pass, and Dinkins will get it up. Thank God.
Yeah, St. Bonaventure's getting really aggressive on defense here. They're pressing
They
up
did
far.
this, too, and
Yeah, that
it
was
caused
fun.
Duquesne problems. Crawford wide open for
That's
3.
a
He
big
got
shot.
That's gonna be that's a huge 3 from Crawford.
Beautiful.
I think you
Oh,
said-
and they call a
foul
foul on
on
Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Drew Joyce not happy.
that's gonna be on.
Oh, man.
Crawford?
Someone went flying back. I think it's Crawford. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. That was tough to see because they cut
Happened so
right
fast.
over.
Off the
Well, they didn't show us. They just showed someone flying back, and we're supposed to just totally infer what happened.
off the 3, Crawford's got 7 now, along with Dinkins. He's got 7 as well.
First free throw, good. By the way, they're in the 1-and-1 for the next foul. The next foul is the last possible 1-on-1-for-1, unless it's a shooting foul. So maybe Duquesne used that to their advantage.
That's
Or
kinda
maybe
concerning with-
it's tough to use, but like if it ends up working out that way, maybe it goes to their advantage. What do the Bonnies shoot from the line? They've been awful so far. They have
really
been
build around.
Get to
Duquesne
you.
bad. Yeah, so we should be able to pick that up. Yep. All right, here's Crawford driving, spinning, kicking Dinkins in the right corner. That was a mess. Dinkins trying to dance on Melvin Council. I don't think he's a great defender, but actually he might be a good defender. It looks like he is. Good Lord, and he turned it over, but he didn't really have much elsewhere to go. Now driving in for a big jam was Chance Moore. Jiminy Christmas.
That might be one that gets shown on ESPN.
That's one that probably could get shown. Good
That was rough.
Lord. 32-24. Crawford fakes a 3. Duquesne could use a score here on this possession. Dave's wide open. He got it. So that was a big bucket for Duquesne. They needed that to respond.
That
Cut
was
it to
good
6.
movement. That was great movement of the ball there.
Going back to those
agree.
free throws, Jack, the Bonnies shoot 73% on the year. They're 63% in this game, but they're shooting 60% from the field, so it doesn't really matter right now.
Where is that at in the
sure.
A10?
They rank, I
Free
believe,
ball.
Oh.
You got it.
in the entire A10, they are 6th
Lajay
in
Jones.
free
by the
throw
way.
shooting typically. So fairly good. Just had to get in a case of the yips. Maybe seeing Duquesne kind of inspired the free throw struggles.
Probably. I don't
Another
It rubs
good
off
pass
on
out to the corner.
Crawford, no good.
Can't
Now
get
they're
it.
not rebounding offensively, which right about now would be the best time. Chance Moore puts it up and in. Duquesne's down by 11.
That was a really good Euro step there. Just
That was a nasty
flying
Euro
past
step.
Max Edwards, sending him into the
Nasty,
bench,
yeah.
basically.
That was nasty.
The defense is looking bad right now in the first half.
You know, when the offense looks solid, the defense just decides to drag down.
I mean, missing guys like Netchus and Corbett,
No,
that can't be
yeah,
good for the
it's- yeah,
defense. Those are
it's-
two
this is a
rocks
tough-
on defense.
I don't know how Crawford didn't draw a foul there, but now out on the break is Melvin Council. He bricked that. I think the Riley Center would have exploded if he hit that. Crawford is
Crawford
wide
couldn't
open.
get
Gotta
and
hit
missed.
that.
That's one of those
Wide
guys
open
gotta
on
get.
one.
Crawford with a couple key misses now in these past few attempts.
Yeah.
He's got to start putting these down from 3.
Let me find where we are at in the schedule because I need to see what the
They get a timeout here.
Yeah,
I
get a
think.
timeout.
believe. Yeah. I need to see what that GMU versus VCU game is. It's 15-15, 5:10 left in the first. If this game gets out of hand, we can watch that one.
5 minutes and it's 15-15.
Oh,
telling
talk
me-
about a defensive battle.
You want to tell me
Woo!
each team scoring 1 point per minute? That is
I love A10 basketball, don't you?
That's so bad.
That is A10 basketball. It's actual finest. You know, the other games are normal scoring. Actually, high scoring for the winner. 81-61 St. Louis over Rhode Island. 88-69 Davidson over Fordham.
That's a big win for Davidson as well.
St. Joe's 78-62, pretty normal over Richmond. GMU versus VCU, literally the top two teams in the league playing.
What was the Rhode Island game?
15,
I was looking at that one
15
earlier
minutes
against St.
in.
Louis.
St. Louis ran away with it in the second half. Rhode
that's-
Island was down by 6. They actually cut it to 6
And that's making this even more frustrating because if they beat them, that jumps them up to 7th. With the Rhode Island loss, this is one of these games you can't afford to drop at this point, and they're not showing.
I know and I know it's on the road, and road wins are tough in the A10, but
They've been
all right, no,
the
'cause
road
Rhode Island
performances
lost.
have just been less than
Abysmal.
ideal.
Oh yeah,
Abysmal.
They're 1-6, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you what,
1-6 on the road.
The Davidson win doesn't help them because Davidson would overtake them. They would both be 6-8. Davidson has the tiebreaker over them. They beat them earlier this year.
I think it was,
Rhode Island losing is all right because they're 6-8. Duquesne 6-8. No big deal there. Duquesne beat Rhode Island, so we're still ahead of them.
doesn't it go to overall record then head to head after that?
No, it goes head to head.
It goes head to head.
Yeah, head to
right?
head. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Huh.
That's like non-conference. It's like, yeah, it's good to have the record, but it's more so for like those at-large bids if you have a chance. If not, you're really just using it to tune up. Yeah. Because a team like, no, actually, I can't use it as an example. Can I use it as an example? St. Bonaventure has a better winning percentage on overall winning percentage than Rhode Island, but Rhode Island is ahead of St. Bonaventure, presumably because they played head to head.
Huh.
St. Bonaventure lost to Rhode Island, so Rhode Island is showing as being ahead of them. So,
Interesting.
yeah, no, head to head. That's why, like, these head to head matches. Usually, you get one game against these teams. You get 3 teams you play twice. Obviously, Duquesne always plays Bonaventure twice. They've been playing. Pretty sure they always play Dayton twice, as far as I know. Mostly because of like the distance. I think that probably plays a factor. But
What pops out to me with that is how much better Duquesne played against Dayton that second time around.
Yeah.
Given it was still at Dayton, here they are at St. Bonaventure,
it's
not
just-
looking too great, and then beat them the first time around.
It's just the opposite.
beat them pretty well. That was an air ball from Brown, but they don't get the rebounds. Play's going to be blown dead. I think that's going to go on Duquesne. Fantastic. Just splendid stuff.
What are they looking for?
I don't know what they called. Yeah, I'm not,
They're going to
not
get
sure.
things sorted out down there.
The only thing I could think is maybe they messed up the shot clock or something, or I don't know.
I think they did because there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock. 3 now, yeah, and the shot went up, missed that. Good call there, Nick.
At this point, if you're Duquesne, you have to get this down to
No,
like
that
7.
that makes sense that I'd say just single digits as a whole. I know 9 doesn't feel good, but if you can go into the half with a little bit of momentum, that would be very large. Dinkins left open for 3, but it's from the parking lot. He's got it.
They got to keep feeding Trey Dinkins because he's
That's
hitting
the way they get-
he's hitting everything. He's
That's the
very
way
on
they get
right
back
now.
I
into
mean,
this
he's easily
game.
their best offensive player on the team.
I think you're right. You have to get back. You have to feed Dinkins. He's got it. I think he's the way you get back into this one.
He's
here.
been hot from the moment
Yeah.
this game started. He was shooting almost from the Bonaventure logo.
Yeah.
And he swished
It
it.
is so unfortunate
They
that
gotta keep
call a
feeding him.
I
foul.
think they call it a kick.
Or never mind, kick. My apologies. It's just so unfortunate
Kick
that
on Crawford.
Dinkins is a senior. Dinkins is a senior, maybe graduate year, who knows? But that is so unfortunate because it feels like if you get one more year, Trey Dinkins, they could like really
That ball's
build the
up.
offense around him. 3 ball, no good. Rebound, it doesn't matter. They fouled him on the 3 pointer.
That's even worse.
What are we doing, guys? I know they haven't shot well from 3, but it's not
That's
a
just a
sound.
bad mistake from Matus.
That is a really silly mistake.
Those corner threes have been working out for the Bonnies too.
Yeah.
they've been leaving them open and capitalizing on them.
I think Belonga hit like 2, didn't he?
I think he did.
Fantastic. Great news. Jonah Hinton at the line. First one is pretty Or not Jonah Hintz, Elijah Jones, rather.
And that's the kind of play that just like it almost just takes the life out of you at a point because it's like you hit that big three, you're starting to get some offense. Like you're keeping the offense up well, and you get a big stop on defense. But then not only do they let the first guy run in and just tip it back in, you then get called on a foul that's just unnecessary.
Yeah. Also, can I point out there's someone walking by the studio with a Buccaneers NFC champion shirt on.
Oh yes, sir.
From like the last Super Bowl they were in. Wow, that's actually cool. Third one is missed. All right, I was about to say he went 4 for 6 from the line last time they played, so it was well within the realm of possibility that he missed one there.
I mean, if they could get 1-3 here, again, it goes back to 7.
Yeah, or just a bucket of any sort, man. Just a kind of, that was silly. And turn it over, and now here's Melvin Council.
Yeah, it's not just the threes that the Dukes need to hit. They have 8 field goals in total right now.
Yeah, it looked like Council was shredding up Edwards on that. So they're going to go back to a matchup, and he gets in front of Edwards. Then now Edwards ends up with a mismatch down low, and Noel Brown is just making him look like barbecue chicken, but he missed. And Dixon's pass to try and get out of that pressure from Jones, deflected off of Jones. Duquesne will get the basketball. 43.8 seconds remaining in the first half. Duquesne could really use a stop and a score. Or a score and a stop, or a score, stop, score. I don't care. You need a stop. You need a stop and a score at some point in the final 40 seconds here.
This is the most. I think this is the most first half points they've given up all season.
In conference.
In conference. Let me rephrase that.
Here's Edwards fakes. Whoa, that almost looked like a travel. Edwards driving in. A call. A foul on the floor. Now, that does matter because Duquesne is in the bonus. It's a 1-1. Not 2 free throws, 1-1. So, Edwards, it would be a nice time for him to make 2.
Both, yeah.
That'd be ideal.
Yeah. He's 80% from the line, so should be able to put these down. They've been good today.
Yeah.
But
he does have 1 to 2 misses.
As for the defense, though, I mean, yeah, they give I believe it's 68 points a game they give up.
Nice job by Edwards.
68 points a game, I believe the defense gives up, and St. Bonaventure is well over halfway there. No, Duquesne.
Oh, wow.
68, and St. Bonaventure is well over halfway there already.
Hey, boy.
So
they got to tighten up in the second half.
Edwards' second free throw missed. A timeout called by Bonaventure. Kind of a use it or lose it timeout. Duquesne has cut it to 9 with 28.7 left in the first half. They're going to need a stop here, and if you get a chance at a final shot, you do have that timeout, that use it or lose it timeout, in a sense.
Yeah.
If Drew Joyce has opportunity to use it, you'd imagine he probably would.
Save for like the corner threes, what do you think's been going wrong with the defense today? Because it's just been
turnovers.
This is the worst. Yeah.
My simple answer to that truly is I think along with the turnovers, I think the source of that is going to be the missing the starters. Netchus not being in there, Corbett not being in there. That's going to throw any unit off, missing 2 key starters like that, and the defense is really falling victim to that in this one. They just don't have the full unit, and they're playing like it. They're leaving open spots. They're playing like a team that doesn't normally all start together. But offensively, they haven't been terrible. They've been setting up good 3-point shots. I think Crawford missed a few key ones. Yeah. I think they definitely need to keep feeding Dinkins. If this is going to be a shootout, they got to just keep going back and forth with them, or they got to be able to just figure something out on D.
Duquesne had a good press there, just couldn't quite get the turnover as the Bonnies broke it. By the way, I'll give you one stat. Points, the fast break points, 11 for St. Bonaventure off of 9 turnovers. So Council gets a wide open 3. He missed it, though. 2 seconds. 1. Edwards at the buzzer. He bonged it off of the back iron, or back board. All right, that'll do it for the first half. Wow, that was a interesting first half. Duquesne did fall. Listen, St. Bonaventure shot 13 of 26, and they made some tough buckets. Not Melvin Council, sorry. I mean, he still played well, but Elijah Jones balled out for 14. Noel Brown's got 7. Chance Moore got 8. I think it's more so St. Bonaventure's guys are doing their thing than it is defensive woes for Duquesne. I think that the Bonnies played really good basketball, and that's more so, I think, give more credit to the Bonnies than you do discredit to the Duquesne defense. I didn't think there was much egregious, just mishaps defensively. I just thought that those guys played really well in the first half, and obviously the turnovers didn't help, but I won't say they were a big reason because I looked and the points off turnovers are 4. But
For St. Bonaventure.
For St. Bonaventure. So, but the fast break points, obviously, giving up that amount of fast break points is not going to help you.
No.
But 16 points in the paint. Also, as Dylan said, you can also kind of attribute that to not having not having.
I think we really realized how much we take
Honestly,
Corvette for granted on defense.
Yeah, I attribute a lot.
Corvette's really been an anchor for us.
I attribute a lot of the struggles to those two guys being out because they're just glue guys that get a lot of minutes but don't necessarily show up so much on the stat sheet, but are getting consistent minutes every game. And Netchus, on defense, I could see him not being there. He's so quick and he's got those long arms.
Yeah.
I think him not being in on D is definitely hurting them. But
It definitely is.
like you said, Jack, the Bonnies are just hot right now. They're shooting, I believe they're shooting 50%. That's huge against a team like Duquesne that has struggled to shoot consistently all year. They're at 34% right now.
Also, here's another problem for you. Eli Wilborn got 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes of the game. That's a big issue.
And
He's
Wilborn
got to get the fouls under control.
And Wilborn, a guy that's typically come in late in games off the bench and really made an impact. He's gotten more confident in going up at the rim and just taking bodies with his dunks. He's been quite a force. So that you're right, Jack. That's going to be effective for them.
That being said, Chabi did come in 7 minutes. Has been pretty solid. He's got 4 points. He has a block. He's got 2 boards, and in 7 minutes, it looks like he was able. It felt like he was able to kind of keep the points at bay in the paint. Not that Dixon has been playing bad, but Dixon has played the more minutes, and it just feels like I don't know. Chabi's been steady. It's tough, man.
They're just not getting a ton of production down low, which again you take for granted how the size of people like Netchus and Corbett. Because right now they're looking at the rebounds right now. Between Chabi, Wilborn, and Dixon, they only have 5 collectively.
Yeah.
Maximus Edwards has 8.
I was gonna say, right? Yeah, that's a good point, Nick. It has been the guards getting most of the rebounds in this game.
Yeah.
They've been grabbing them off of the ricochet. You would like to see the bigger guys being able to grab those and go back up with them.
But they're not doing a good job boxing out Brown. They're just they're not using their size. The only guy who really was, it seemed like, was Wilborn early on. And then you said he got into foul trouble really fast, and they had to yank him out.
I do think the guards overall are playing very well. They just really need to focus on making those shots. And there were a few that went in that were really nice, but the opportunities are there, and they're doing a good job turning those rebounds around into opportunities. And they're flipping the court pretty fast. And that's Crawford, Dinkins, Matus. They're doing a good job. That they just need the shots to go down. And unfortunately, that's just where Bonaventure is much better than Duquesne.
Yeah. For sure. So, this is Bonnie's senior day, by the way. Melvin Council and Chance Moore getting
Well, I'm sure this game
honored,
means a lot to them as well.
That's the other thing we should consider.
Because I know we talked about at points the season's has been very up and down for Duquesne. This has probably been a pretty disappointing year for the Bonnies.
Yeah, things kind of spiraled out of control.
Because they're 18-9 this year. I know they probably haven't played the.
They were 12. They were 12-1 at one point. You play.
And they haven't played the craziest schools.
They were 12-1. Their only loss was a tough one to Utah State, who was receiving votes at the time. They beat Providence. Beat VCU. That was the biggest thing. They beat VCU
They beat VCU the first game of the season.
That's where
and then they
things,
mopped the floor with Fordham, and it seemed like, okay, they're going to be tough this year.
Yeah, and then things went downhill. You lose a slew. You lose to LaSalle in overtime on a heartbreaker.
That was bad.
Richmond, you did beat, but then you lose to Duquesne, GMU, VCU. And it's been up and down. You beat Dayton by 20 on at
that
home.
was
That was
surprising.
ridiculous.
That was the thing that made me doubt Dayton
Dude,
was
yeah.
when Bonaventure went to, or when Dayton came to Bonaventure and they
just
got
got
mopped.
Yeah, whooped.
So it's just been one of those things where, and maybe it's like you said, it's probably the unpredictability of what the A10's been this year.
A10 has been literally probably the most chaotic conference in all of college. I don't know many other conferences that have just been
I
chaos.
feel like there's so many games that could go either way. Like anybody
Literally
could beat anybody.
Every single game, I feel like I can always see an upset happening, and it's so weird. It's weird, man. It wasn't like this last year. I mean, obviously, A10's always competitive, but this is another level, and it's teams that I just think
season's just been
have
chaos.
been brutal.
I look at teams like
Tough
St.
to watch
Bonaventure
at times.
and Rhode Island, who are both 6 and 8 in the conference, but those are good teams.
Like, Rhode
they have
Island's had some
losing,
really high
They have
moments.
losing records in the conference, but I believe they could really cause problems in the tournament.
I really do believe Bonaventure, because again, last year they were projected, if I remember correctly, looking at the preseason poll, they were projected to finish third, and they finished seventh, and then they went and remember what I said with GMU right
Yeah.
now, and how I compared them to Richmond. Well, when the
Yes.
quarterfinals rolled around, not only did we upset Dayton, Bonaventure upset Richmond.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And they're one of those schools that, again, because a lot of the guys they have are still there, like who make up the glue of that team, they're still there. And so, whereas Duquesne's got like a lot of new faces and they've had their highs, they really have. When like after the 0-6 start, they went I think like 10-3.
Yeah, they went on that run. They went.
Or
I can get a check on that for you.
Yeah, get a
but
check on that.
They've been hot and cold this year for sure. They go. Everybody knows that about this Duquesne basketball team. They go on their runs for sure.
Yeah.
But this is one of the years where it just feels like crazy because it's like they started the year off 0-6. They had decent like and at the end of non-conference. Then they went on a 4-1 opening for the A10 before spiraling into losing 5 before winning 2 of their last 3.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I will be back in a second. I'm printing these the box score for the first half,
There, you got it.
and then I also got to get myself a Gatorade.
So they did. I can confirm that for you, Nick. They went 0-6, and then they went 8-3
8-3, that's
before
what it was.
going
go get it.
0-5.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna print this. I will be back. Dylan, looks like you got the floor. Well, also with Dylan. Yeah.
I get the
first
floor.
with Nick, but
It's
you got
time
the floor
for
now.
Who's that Duke? I wish I had written one of those. I should have.
Dang, you should have. What the heck?
I know. I didn't think about that.
24
I
views
should
on
have had
YouTube?
segments for us.
24 vids. How many? Or 24 views. 24 vids.
24.
I'm
What?
insane.
25. Yeah.
21, 21, 21, 21.
Which, fun fact, I went and looked. The total viewership between for the Dayton game live and people who went back and rewatched it right now is sitting around like 130.
Wow.
So y'all have been phenomenal. Thank you
I think
so much.
also part of that is it was a good watch if you go back and watch the final minutes of that. I think that was actually
You and I
an interesting watch, man.
I'll never forget. I got a call from my parents after that stream because they were not happy when I slammed my fist onto the table. That would hurt. That would hurt.
All right, I will be
But
back.
yeah,
Silver Ranch had a bit of a fun time on that one.
not as bad as Game 3, but yeah, no, it was.
Brutal game, man. That was tough.
My friends want me to make merch for when I screamed "Get a map."
Get a map.
I think it was when Sosa struck out the Sean Mania.
That was a bad time.
Yeah.
That was a bad night. It's not good.
But I'll be looking forward to A10 coming up. But
It'll be good.
Oh yeah, because I'll actually be able to come to the A10 this year. Yeah, you weren't.
I didn't get to go to the A10.
You didn't go to the one in Brooklyn,
I did
right?
not get to go to the A10 in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I didn't get to either because I'll never forget it because we had two people from here go up when the tournament started, and then we all of us stayed back, and then I had a watch party. I think you were out with girlfriend or some other. Or
Yeah, I was on a
fraternity.
little trip there.
Yeah, so we were Rentero, i.e. Cover 3 Athletics, and Jack were watching the Dayton game at my apartment. And when that one happened, we all lost their minds. And they decided to book a flight to Brooklyn the next morning.
Best trips and sports trips are spontaneous.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska to go watch the Duquesne Dukes in the NCAA March Madness tournament. Great time.
What else will be awesome will be this next season when Duquesne plays Pitt
Yeah.
for football.
Oh, that'll be fun. Back
You got to come back for
Acrisure
that.
Stadium. I'll try my best.
That's gonna be probably the most fun. I mean, we're probably going to lose by 45, but like
Probably.
Although I did find it interesting because I was looking at Duquesne football out of curiosity. Because they got Lehigh, who I think made the tournament, who I think made the FCS tournament. Either that, or they were like really close. You got like some like a Division II school or something like that, Pitt, and then they play Akron.
Ooh,
They got some
that'll be
action,
interesting.
and I think that'll be interesting because again, for people who don't know, last year Duquesne is in the NEC, and the main thing the NEC was known, I would say known for, was that Kent State lost to an NEC school.
Yeah, they
Lost
did.
to St. Francis.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that because I brought it up to my dad the week we were playing St. Francis on the road in Loreno, and we then proceeded to beat them 38-7.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, we could have creamed Kent State.
Yeah.
That's how bad
Yeah,
they were. And Akron was literally not far behind
Yeah.
them.
Man, I would have that Duquesne football team had more games to play, man. They weren't done. It's such a shame. They were supposed to go to URI and play that game. That is
I was
such
still
a
forever
shame.
break and shatter my heart into a million people because I watched that game. I watched the first round of that, and they did not look good.
Hey, now
URI
that
did not look good in that game.
welcoming back to the studio one Mr. Jack Morgan, and in perfect time for a little segment I like to call "Who's That Duke?"
Oh my
God,
goodness.
I'm so
This is a
excited.
modified version,
I'm
as
so
we
excited.
have created it live, but we can play a
We'll
little
do it
game.
live.
Dylan just got one of these
we'll
on the
do it
spot.
live.
Dylan just got these on the spot. All right,
Hey.
I'm down.
So this version we're gonna play. I'm gonna give you one hint at a time. So the hints get easier. So as you with all three, you should be able to get it.
Okay.
So I'll give you the first hint. You'll try to guess there, and then if you can't get it, I'll go second.
Okay.
Okay. I
gonna
feel like
start-
I'm gonna do really bad here.
All right. Player one
Okay.
is a versatile guard forward standing at 6'6", weighing 210 pounds.
Can
Who is
can I
that
enter-
Duke?
Can I enter a guess?
You
You can
can enter a guess.
Cam Crawford.
All right, Cam Crawford is Jack's guess. Nick, would you like to? So we'll do
You
it
said
like this.
6'6"?
We said, would you? So now you can lock in your answer, or you can hear the second guess.
Oh shoot! So maybe I should have. Oh, that was stupid. Okay.
Well, I think we should get.
Yeah, that's-
I think
that's
you
all.
should get more points if you get it off the first.
That's what
one.
I was gonna say.
So
I
we'll
think
go
maybe
like
we
that.
should
I
go
think.
like
Hey, we'll do it live. All right, when we're making it
Well,
up.
I was gonna say,
we're making
wait,
it up
then
live.
that was stupid on my part.
You said
So-
6'6".
Yeah, 6'6". So yeah,
Jay Sean
Hey,
Corbett.
you didn't know the rules because they weren't even made up
Yeah.
yet.
Going
The
Jay
pro-
Sean.
that was the problem.
Go Jay Sean. I'm gonna go Jay Sean Corbett.
All right, Jay Sean Corbett.
It's
Two
not
answers
Corbett.
locked in. A versatile 6'6" guard for the Dukes. The other hints: he hails from Orlando, Florida. Previously played for Chicago State before transferring to
He's
Duquesne.
6'6".
Jay Sean Corbett.
I
He's
didn't think he
huge.
was
Was
6'6".
your
huge.
correct answer. I did
He's
not think he was
6'6".
6'6" either. I almost would have thought about Dave, but the guard.
He's 6'6". It
He's
don't, it
massive.
don't feel like.
But when you
he's
said
6'6".
guard forward, he was the only name that really came to mind because I was like, because Matusa's just a forward, Cam's just a guard, Trey's just a guard, and if you went with like one of the more obscure players, I have no idea. So
All right,
Matus
we're gonna go.
is taller than Jay Sean Corbett. so-
Oh, I could have told you that. Matus,
Yeah, Matus is huge.
he's a
I'm
lengthy
shocked,
guy.
yeah,
We ready for player two before
Yep.
we get in?
yep.
Because
let's
it looks
do it.
like they're getting ready to start
Getting
up
ready?
here.
Let's get
Get
one
through,
more.
Enough time.
throw one more in. And we'll throw another guard who is 6'5", weighing 205 pounds.
Oh, I can look.
Would we like to lock one in or
got
hear
one.
another
I need
hint?
to hear
I got
another
one.
All right, lock it in, Nick. What
I'm
do
gonna
you
say
think?
Maximus Edwards.
Maximus Edwards is the guess for Nick. Second clue originates from Birmingham, Alabama.
That doesn't do me anything.
Oh,
You can hear a third clue if you'd like.
I'll hear a third clue.
I might be
think I'll
wrong here.
get.
Crap. Anyways, keep going.
Then hey, you can for this one we'll go whoever says it first. Okay.
All right.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna start from the beginning. 6'5", 205.
Don't
Originates
slide
from
the table too
Birmingham,
hard.
Alabama. Transferred from Marshall University.
Cam Crawford.
Oh,
Cam Crawford.
Cam Crawford
he's
is
from Alabama.
that Duke.
Oh, Leonard's. Hey Siri.
Why
play
did I
Leonard's
think-
If
Skin.
anybody
Why did
else
I
is
think
wondering, Maximus Edwards is from Stratford, Connecticut, and my Hey Siri is
Oh.
now listening to me.
Sorry.
Thanks to Mr. Jack Moore.
I was hoping that someone's Siri went off.
All right, little game. We're gonna get back into play here as Duquesne
I think it's
is
Jersey Day.
is
for the-
down 9, I believe. It was 39-9 or 39-30 at half.
Yeah, 39-30. Here the heck we go in the second half. Who has... I want to take inventory, but after this... Oh, Dave had a wide open shot. Rozier for 3. No good.
Rozier's been a quiet, good three-point shooter for Duquesne. Not great, but he's
Oh, this
fourth.
isn't good.
He's way
Wide
too
open.
open.
What was that release? That release had like a hitch at the top of it. Rozier coast to coast, and he's
Can't
fouled.
get in. He's fouled. Whew.
Shout out Ryan Stout for the release.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, we worked on trying to fix his release, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know how. Well, that was even.
Oh, he's
even
a down.
worse
Looks like he's
release.
gripping his hand, his
Yeah,
left hand.
well, that's not good. Shaking it off right now. By the way, I want to get some inventory. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence that Duquesne can win this game?
I'm gonna say a 6. I don't think it's unreasonable that they could come back here. It's just gonna depend on if they can stop, like slow them down. This defense is way too good to be getting burned the way
Yeah.
they have been on the pick
Yeah.
and roll today. So I think they can still do it. And I just don't think their St. Bonaventure shooting is gonna keep being this red hot.
Yeah.
Give me a 5 out of 10, probably, Jack.
at a-
I'm not
I'm at a-
feeling too confident.
I'm at a
here.
4 right now because I feel like over 5 is like that threshold of like, I think they can win this one. I'm a little more pessimistic, but it's possible.
I
It's
think
possible for all the reasons Nick listed.
I think they get a quick little fast break once or twice in a row. It takes them hitting a 3 and another just to get them right back in it. And I think once they get a little bit closer, I don't think the Bonnies will really be able to pull away as they
Yeah.
did in the first half.
And you hope that they can.
And I just don't
because
see
if
that.
they
I just don't see that
do,
staying the rest of the game.
They have been shooting really well though, and they showed no signs of that slowing down. St. Bonaventure towards the end of the
Yeah.
half.
But we'll see.
They got to give him tougher and further looks is the big thing. They gave him way too many looks down low, which is probably why the shooting's been so high. Is because they've had
Good
a lot
start
of
there by
high
pushing-
percentage shots,
Good start there by pushing Brown out to the well.
and that's why.
Well, that's the thing. If you
well-
trust Brown as a passer there, then then Bonaventure's fine with that. If you don't like Brown as a passer, then maybe that's why they pushed him up to the top of the key and had Dixon defend him all the way out there. So that's a tough situation.
That's the
man.
problem with that corner. They kept going back to that
Great
corner.
defense on Dixon, but he draws a foul inside.
St. Bonaventure was making a lot of those corner threes in the first half, and there they faked it and went inside. But is he gonna get a couple of free throws here to get the foul?
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, wow, that's close.
that was a.
That's a tight one. That was close. I don't know. I thought that was all ball, but
I was honestly kind of impressed if they drew the foul with.
Yes.
He was able to keep a hold of it with both Brown and I couldn't see who else it was. The one who drew the one who fouled him. I want to say it was Hinton, but I can't tell.
Dixon drops the
which number
first,
are we
or he makes the
talking?
first one on the line.
which number?
The one, or was it who fouled?
Yeah, Chris. Let me go here. Nope, that's not go here. What am I doing?
Part of me thought it was Hinton, but I couldn't tell.
Dixon did not make the second one.
Yeah, he did not.
Yeah. He's been another one of those
Hinton.
guys struggling this
Yeah.
year.
Jonah Hinton committed.
He's
the
been
foul.
66% from the line. It's just
Crawford
got to be
goes
better
down,
than
he's
that.
way too open.
And he's got it.
Crawford Crawford gets tied up and slips, and he just left him way too open on the look there.
Wide open. Yippee. That's fantastic.
And that just go back to the bad defense today. They've given him way too many open looks. And
Oh,
that's a
there we
great foul.
go. Matus.
Is that from 3?
Yep, from 3.
It is.
There we go.
By the way, can we discuss how bad George Mason's logo is? I
will
hate
be
look at this.
partial here because I don't want
That's new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been
fan.
a big thing on Twitter that
their
just
mascot,
not a lot of
the
people have been
Patriots?
very big fans of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
call a foul.
I'm not a
Foul
big
there.
fan
Dixon.
personally.
Still sitting on that 8-point lead. Duquesne's got to cut into it.
Yeah, but it could be worse, as we just saw. It could be an 11
Be worse.
point lead, but
Hey,
he's only
I'm going to stick to that formula for Duquesne. They need to keep raining those threes, just like they did that first time, because they're shooting 50% right now from 3.
Also, fun fact.
It's just going to depend on giving them tighter looks. Like, that's just way too
That
open.
is wide open. But
They're
they
fortunate to get
a
that one
miss,
back.
and Dixon rebounds it. So once again, they could cool down a little bit, and that's what Duquesne would need.
They're
Just probably don't give them wide open looks.
they're still
Crawford
getting-
And that's just-
that's
turned
careless.
it over.
Both-
Now,
All
Careless
of,
mistake from Crawford.
and that's
Wow,
one in,
just-
and it's going to be a foul. Oh,
no,
no,
foul. Just wide open lane for Lajay Jones, by the way. Just easily, just kind of like a cone on defense.
That's a sloppy
Those
ball.
turnovers continuing to
Yeah.
cause problems.
Yeah, Edwards, Crawford,
sure.
and Dinkins all at least have 2, if not more.
Rogier fast drive. Doesn't get a foul, but he gets a wide open look out of it, and he
Nice
hits it.
shot. That was a little off balance too.
A little
for
bit, yeah.
Rozier. That was a really nice recovery.
And that's a needed one after the bucket they gave up.
Yeah.
Looks
Give up.
very similar to the first half here. Not
Which
a lot,
I don't like.
A lot of differences.
Not very much enjoying those zero differences for sure.
I think the biggest thing that's hurting him right now, when you talk about the.
I'm not having a
I'm
fun
not
time.
enjoying
he is not
I'm
having a
enjoying
good
these
time.
No differences.
You know what I think is a
I'm
big
enjoying
thing that's
these
also
similarities.
hurting
Wow,
him?
that's a-
The size.
It's a bad idea that
Wow.
Dinkins on him.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dinkins
Council-
one-on-one. He was asking for help at the bottom there. He's like, yeah, I can't guard that.
And Council pulled a rabbit out of his hat with that layup. That was incredible.
That's the thing again with him driving down low, especially one-on-one. You
Oh,
don't know
that-
if he's going to swing it out or not.
Dixon was off balance, but he gets back on balance. Great defense from Brown, and Dixon
Stopped him.
can't get a shot on net. It was blocked.
You like to think
Jones
Dixon.
driving in. He
That's a
lost
good
it.
foul.
Duquesne ball.
You like to think Dave
No.
Dixon can get
Yeah,
a
you
better
can ball.
shot off up there,
Dang.
but
All right.
uh,
Lead is 10. Bonaventure increased it by 1. Still ways to go here in the second half. 15:59 to go.
Duquesne is shooting a little bit better than they did in the first half, but not by much. They got to get more shots off inside. Dave Dixon had an opportunity there down low, but it seemed like he took too long to get something up, and he got double teamed.
He just couldn't find much, and
That's a good look though off the bat. They need to get
it's
the
hard.
big guys in those positions.
It's hard to outmuscle Brown. It's really hard to outmuscle a guy like of that size. It's not
Yeah.
just the fact that he's 6'11".
Absolutely.
He's 6'11" while looking like an offensive lineman.
Yeah. He's a,
Without, like,
he's a
the
huge
bulky
dude.
weight, like-
Yeah.
I mean, they
But-
got a
Big
lot of
dude.
big guys. I mean, Lajay Jones, he's 6'7". Chance Moore is 6'6".
I mean, they're a huge team, and not just
Noah
the fact that-
Balaga is 6'8".
6'8"?
Yeah, I mean, and he's a freshman. He
He's a
he typically comes off the bench for them. And he started last 3 obviously.
6'8" as a freshman is insane.
Yeah, he's been really good.
What are we feeding basketball players besides
It's
sheer I don't know
Fun fact,
corn? I
Bologna.
don't know.
Fun fact, Bologna's listed as a guard. Haha.
6'8"
A
guard.
guard? Sure.
He's been.
Sure.
I was telling Jack a little bit about him.
My
He's
God.
been consistent this year off the bench, and then he had his season high 14 points against George Washington. Then he started the next 2 because of the season, I believe, because of the season high. And then he obviously came in having an impact already today. So as a freshman doing that, being 6'8", you got to imagine that
That's
Belonga
insane.
is going to be able to be big for the St. Bonaventure
And that's what
Bonnies down the
makes
stretch.
the Bonnies so tough to gauge. Is like you got the seniors who can make an impact with guys like Noah Brown and Council, and then you have guys like Malaga who are just a freshman who's just already
man.
just lighting up the stat sheet in almost every way imaginable. And again, I think that's where it really is hurting them. You talked about the injuries. The size is killing them right now. They're running really small at the lineup right now because Wilborn's in foul trouble, which I'm surprised they still haven't brought him in yet.
Yeah.
And somehow Duquesne is still really winning that rebound battle with the guards like coming in and picking off those ricochet balls. So if they can continue doing that and just continue getting those shots off from the 3-point line, that's how they're going to get back into this game. Because like you said, Nick, they're not going to win that battle down
I think
low.
it's more in the fact that it's the passing that's been the big thing. There's been a lot of passes that are going through the arms, right over the heads of a lot of players because this team isn't playing big today. They don't have a big lineup out there today.
Yeah. And turnovers haven't helped. Edwards has a 3.
awesome.
Good
Yeah.
look, but
Yeah.
no good. Rebounded. I was just about to say I haven't felt like they've won the rebounding battle. I should reconsider my stance. Wilborn to Moronsky lost it. He gets it back and he puts it in.
See, that's the type of put up they need. They need to get that rebound from the big man, whoever it may be,
Yeah, which this time was
and
Wilborn.
put it right back up. But yeah, Duquesne's got 22 rebounds to St. Bonaventure 16 right now.
Not surprised it's even that high for St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, no, they've been better in the second half for sure.
Went off Duquesne foot. It's
Yep,
going to be
thanks.
Bonnie's ball.
You mentioned the turnovers, Jack. Duquesne's got 9 right now.
How
The
many
Bonnie's-
between the three
Bonnie's
guys
4.
I listed? Edwards, Crawford, and Dinkins.
You're gonna have to give me a quick second there.
That's a good time. That's a good time.
Turnovers, we got Dinkins has 2, Crawford has 3, Edwards has 2, then another
Sounds about right.
one for Hronsky and 1 for Choppy.
That does
Which again,
sound right.
turnovers by
unfortunately.
forwards is fine in my opinion. It's the turnovers by the guards, and it's a large number is killing them right
Look at
now.
Kareem getting a rebound.
Even he's getting a rebound.
I mean, that's what it's been for Duquesne in this. It's been the
There goes
shooters
Wilborn.
getting
Wilborn got it.
rebounds.
Finally
Duquesne
made a
now,
layup.
yeah. Look at
I
them.
think at this point you have to keep Wilborn out there. He's
Yeah.
the main forward, pretty much doing anything like
And
remotely positive.
this is typically the points in the game where he comes in and makes an impact too.
Mm-hmm.
Wilborn comes off the bench and he hasn't really played a ton, and he just
I mean, he
bodies
threw up
somebody
like 12
down low.
against Fordham, and a guy who I think has shot really well at the free throw line, which is usually uncharacteristic for forwards. That's just unfortunate.
I don't know how
Yeah.
he made that. Got a nice little bounce there, and
Maybe the red hot shooting won't continue when you're getting stuff that bounce off the rim 3 times.
I'd like for those bounces to happen to my team. Except I'm a Sixers fan, so
I wasn't
stuff
gonna
doesn't
say
happen.
anything against the Celtics.
and it happens. And it happens!
That's a
Here's
very
Rozier.
high scoring
Oh my
game.
God, Rozier to Wilborn. What a dribbling showcase from Rozier. Holy smokes.
How he stayed on his feet on either of those
I'll be right back, by the
was
way.
unbelievable. And again,
I'll be right back,
Wilborn
but-
having a big impact.
What a play by Rozier.
Nick,
Hopefully
I
actually get some.
loved that you pointed out at halftime that they need to start down low getting some points because they're doing it now. Wilborn's doing a great job
But it's
of
this.
going
That's the
one-on-one.
issue right there. It's too many wide
Yeah,
open looks.
the
And
defense-
that's why the shooting's so high right now.
They're continuing to struggle as I believe that is that Rozier taking it up the court.
Yeah, I want to say that was Noah Brown who put that up.
Yeah, he's got counsel on him. Rozier has been pretty good going in and out of a point guard position with Dinkins, but I'd like to see Dinkins get a little bit more time as two strives in, and I think he gets
He gets a draw
gets-
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
he gets fouled there, and he's going to go to the line as
It's not been the
It's been
offense
pretty
today. It's
good.
been, like this has been one of their stronger showings this season, albeit with some inconsistencies with the turnovers. But
Matus gets fouled that time by Lajay Jones. That's another one for him.
I mean, they got to start getting some pressure, and drawing more fouls because now Lajay Jones is at 3, and he probably will come out at this point.
Matus is 2 of 2, make that 2 of 3 today. Kind of jinxed him there on the free throws. So let's try to wipe that one off. But 52-44, St. Bonaventure still on top by 8. They've been really sitting on that 8-point lead.
And Balaga's coming out as well.
Yeah, that's going to be big. They get a couple substitutions. Matus, 5.2 points per game so far this year for the Dukes coming off the bench. He's been doing that for the past 3 years. Cash is in on the second free throw.
Interesting they're keeping Lajay Jones out there when he's got 3 fouls, but I'm not surprised because he's got 21 points right now.
I mean, yeah, and he typically scores only 10 a game. Clearly one of the, I believe this is the most points he's scored all year as a close miss by the Bonnies. Duquesne now trying to capitalize, just down 7. They're cutting into that 8-point lead that the that the Bonnies have had this whole time. That's a really
Wilborn
nice,
slamming it down.
really nice pass from Maximus Edwards to Eli Wilborn. He continues to dominate by the rim.
Remember, we were bringing it up a lot so far this game, is with the turnovers being the issue. Do you think they're going to keep Kareem in here right now? You brought up the assist-to-turnover ratio, and right now they need to keep the ball in their hands as much as possible right now. And do you think having him in is going to help with that?
Yeah, that might be a reason to stick with him. That might be a reason
It's going to be
roll with
off the
Rozier.
knee?
And that's going to,
It's going to be Duquesne ball.
Duquesne gets another opportunity down. Just 5 now. They're cutting into it. And like I was mentioning, they just need to go on a little run and cut into that lead. And then I don't really think the Bonnies are going to be able to pull away. That's a close one.
Wilborn smacked it out.
Yeah, I guess they're going to call it going off the hand.
I guess maybe it bounced off his hand, or it looked like it went off Brown's knee, but maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Duquesne's going to stay with it. Nice pass over to Wilborn. He's going to have an opportunity one-on-one with Brown, but he'll pass that one off to Rozier. Rozier to Hronsky for 3.
Can't get it.
Can't get it.
And that's just great fight from Brown.
Yeah, Noel Brown, obviously he's going to get the foul there, but no really contest down low as he just takes the hand off. Doesn't even really look like Brown jumped for that ball. He kind of just stuck the hands up and got it. But Duquesne on a little bit of a run. I think Jack Morgan's going to come back a little surprised.
A little bit.
Just down 5 now. It's a good point for them to be at. They typically go into these breaks with a little bit more of a deficit. They can come out here and hit a 3. Do you think they can? Do you think they can come back?
I mean, the reason I kept it at a 6 out of 10 is because if they could just start slowing them down and stop getting the shots within the paint, or at least slow it down. Like, it's giving them almost every single look right now, outside of the 3s that freaking Jones is hitting, has been on the fault of just too many, just little mistakes, just little quick passes, or just getting out muscled, getting ran around, like it's just uncharacteristic mistakes by this defense. And I think if they just tighten that up, like they're still well in this game at this point.
Yeah,
and fun fact, it actually wasn't Wilborn who got the foul there. It was Edwards.
Interesting.
According to the live stats, which I didn't think it was Edwards there, but I don't know.
Well, though they will go to the line regardless. It was Noel Brown, and the free throw percentage for St. Bonaventure has improved.
Really? Because I thought it was a defensive rebound.
What was it?
It was the defensive rebound that then was like a foul like right after.
Oh, was it?
So I think it's just going to be the ball.
Okay. Yeah, they're just getting the ball.
With immediate timeout.
You're right. My mistake.
Now you good?
I'm good. But that was interesting there. We'll see if Duquesne can get a nice 3 going, cut that down to a 1-score lead.
I think if they can stop them here, like if they can get a stop on this next possession, I truthfully think they're going to cut the stack to 1 possession. And these are the games where Duquesne can like really make a statement right now, because and that's been the other thing that I feel like has not been really characteristic. It's either they have not had a lot of close games this season. They've had a few, but like Davidson they had a lead and then they kind of blew it and had a really bad second half. UMass never really felt like they were in it at points.
This is a team that very much is a tell-all. You can very much see what kind of game it's going to be. And I've said that about the Dukes for a while. You can kind of tell early how the game's going to go, whether they're going to be in it and be going back and forth, or just kind of be stagnant the whole time.
Because they've had a lot of games with either they won by a decent margin or lost by a decent margin. The only real close games I can remember off the top of my head was the Fordham game on the road. The Dayton game we live streamed, which that one that'll forever hurt. And then there was one other game I was trying to remember. Why is my brain failing me?
But you make a good point about the margin. They are 11th in the conference in scoring margin. They're just barely up, +2. They're the lowest team that's up. Right behind them is UMass. But they haven't really kept themselves in games when they lose, I feel like.
No. Like Dayton and Fordham are the only 2 I could think of right off the top of my head. And that's another case, just giving Not the best. Wow.
And a really nice shot from the
Jones
corner that
again.
time. Lajay Jones
Oh
putting
my
on
God.
a clinic. That's 24 for him.
'Cause I
Gotta
thought-
be a
yeah.
season high for Lajay Jones. I can get a check on that in a
If you
second.
could check, yeah, because that was. I mean, I thought it was going to be the simple slam by Brown, and that looked like that was as tight of a shot as you could have honestly asked for. That was scary.
Huge shot by Lajay Jones in a moment where Duquesne seemed to have the momentum and they were creeping back into it. Here's Rozier
And they're
now
gonna draw a foul.
trying to drive in, draws the foul with St. Bonaventure back up 8.
That is one that just hurts. Because again, the 3-point shooting hasn't been great. Because I looked at this, Jones is 4 for 6 right now. The rest of the team is 2 for 8.
Wow. They've been struggling from the 3, but field goal percentage wise, just the 2-point shooting has been fantastic. They've been almost automatic.
And that's hitting 4th.
So clearly nothing changes.
Well, they changed for a
necessarily.
moment. We crawled back in and hit
they
it.
just hit a 3.
Yep.
And then Jones just hit the craziest 3 I've seen in a while. Because that was as much pressure as you could have. Like, they got so much pressure in Jones's face, and it just didn't amount to anything.
Lajay
which is
Jones
crazy.
Tying a season best. He's
close to 20.
He's got 24
That'd be
now.
huge. Matus!
Wow, Matus with a
5-point
big
game.
shot.
Matus says, anything you can do, I can do better.
Pulls him back
Except he's a
in.
little more open.
But it was 24 points was the best Lajay Jones has had. That was against LaSalle in January. He's got 24 today. One more bucket would beat that for him.
Oh my God, I think Rozier just got crossed up.
And he missed
I don't
it.
think there was any other way to describe it other
And
than
Council
he got
missed it.
crossed.
I mean, he had a wide open look and he missed
Yeah.
it. That's one of those breaks you got to take.
You barely
There was
see
a-
a mistake
oh
like
my.
that
That's
from
gonna get
Council.
tipped
Really nice
out.
punch.
By the
Good
way, I don't
effort
think
from
there
Council
was.
there.
Agreed. I don't think there was any other way to describe that other than Rozier got crossed. And I love you, Kareem, but I don't think he got pushed or anything. I think he just stumbled back. But once again, got lucky, missed it. 55-50, excuse me.
I mean, you got a big chance here to
Hang on,
cut
I
this back to
promise.
one possession.
Edwards jacks it up. No good. I don't know if they had time on the shot clock. I think they did.
They had a lot because it was just it was a
I
simple
don't like it then.
fast break. I don't know. It was one of those rushed plays. I think. Wow.
One Melvin Council. That was tough.
And one as well.
He's had some good teardrop shots like that.
Dang.
He's done that all day.
I think that's gonna be on Wilborn as well.
Come on, that's probably the worst thing that could have
Yeah.
happened.
Make that 13 now for Council.
Look at-
Wilborn's been playing fantastic
been playing so
on
good as well.
offense.
Yeah.
He's been almost
What
unstoppable
is
down
Lajay
low.
Jones is high again?
24.
Yeah, he got 20. I cannot believe he has 24 points.
This
He's
pass it or
been
tie
playing
it?
fantastic.
This pass or tie it?
It ties it. It ties at 24.
He's already tied it. He has a the next
That one hurts.
point he gets, it will surpass.
And he hasn't been like a consistent starter for them
No.
playing the whole game all year. He's been slowly increasing in minutes, Jones. He had season high 40 2 weeks ago. He played the whole game, but he typically does not do that. He's proven his case as one of the best players on their team.
Yeah, that's for sure. Wow, nice pass.
Really,
Wilborn!
really good pass from Rozier there.
We talk about the turnovers. I mean, there's a reason he has these like towards the top.
Wilborn's got to be careful with those fouls because he needs to
Yes, he
stay in.
does.
He needs to
He
stay.
needs
in
to stay in this game.
You can't-
Kareem to
yeah.
Wilborn has worked 3 or 4 times in the second half.
Yeah. The passing is continued
to
to
Wilborn.
stay on for Duquesne, and as long as they can keep feeding it to Wilborn, I think they'll be all right.
I think Wilborn he's got to stay in this game in some way.
Council is working on Kareem, but that's great defense. Got to be outside. Kareem needs to be a big factor defensively. Wow. Lajay Jones just absolutely sauced Matus Ronsky, and now he's going to be trouble because Duquesne couldn't get the rebound. They call a foul. I think it's going to go on Kareem Rozier.
Wow.
He came flying in there.
That was an interesting put up there by Lajay Jones. He got himself in a good position, but that's a
Think it's
hard,
Look at Kareem
it's a hard
come
shot.
flying in.
Kareem came
Jeez, he
flying
came in
in.
like a torpedo.
Wow.
They're gonna call that a foul?
I don't like the foul call, but I guess I can live with it because Kareem came flying in there. Maybe he caught the facial area of whoever that was underneath.
Now comes
Oh,
Wilborn.
Wilborn's taking his seat. Looks like he might be limping.
I really
It
hope
looked like
that
his
he's
ankle
not
was
hurt.
looked like his ankle for a second.
Yeah,
That's-
it has been Wilborn and Dinkins the most consistently
I
putting
think-
up points in this one.
I think
Yeah.
this is a big stretch for Dave Dixon now because he's got to continue to that momentum down low.
He's
got to
be able to keep some
yeah.
strength on Noel Brown.
Yeah, like that. momentum. I can't
Wow.
believe Council just made that three. Wow. Fading away on the right wing, Melvin Council Jr. is electrocuting the Dukes.
Make that
That's a new
17
word.
for Council.
Oh, no. Matus gets it back. The student section wanted an over and back. I think they were wrong. Wow, Dixon, a couple good fakes, and he puts up for three.
Wow.
No good. Rebounded by Rozier, though.
That was a really nice fake there by Dinkins. He's doing
Whoa.
everything to create space in this one, but they got to keep letting him
Yeah.
get the ball in his hands.
That's one of those ones where they're just gonna be kicking themselves.
There's Kareem. Gives Ronsky for three. No good. Rebounded Brown.
I don't hate
It's going to be
Hronsky.
an interesting stretch now for Duquesne.
I don't hate Hronsky taking that three is a little bit close. I would maybe like to see Duquesne take it a little bit less contested shots here. That was kind of like the Edwards one from earlier.
Yeah.
They need to they're getting open shots. They need to trust they're going to get them.
Feels like one step forward, two steps back in this comeback bid for Duquesne so far tonight.
It doesn't even feel like in the second half it's been much of their fault. They're taking tight shots.
Council,
and
no
they're getting a
good.
lot of things to
Rebounded
fall.
Dinkins. You're right. Wow, it was a nice strip right there by Chance Moore. Just didn't amount to anything. Duquesne's going to get the ball back. They're down 61-52. Like you said, they have played some good basketball, but I think I said it at the end of the first half, something along the lines that they played. Like, St. Bonaventure's just hitting shots. Their guys are playing like dogs.
And that's
that's
what's
continued to
frustrating
be
as
what
well
has
because in the
happened.
second half it's not even been as much as the first half where it's been a lot of easy looks and just kind of defensive like misshapes by the guards. They're just hitting a lot right now.
I would say the Duquesne defense is shaping up a little bit better in the second half, but
It's just not-
St. Bonaventure's just taking it into their own hands and capitalizing on
It just
anything.
hasn't mattered.
I mean,
Yeah.
when Council hit one with literally a hand square at his face like this.
Which I don't
just drained it.
understand how it happened, but
That's unbelievable.
But
That's just
Duquesne,
ridiculous.
they've been shooting better in the second half as well. They're at 50% compared to 34 in the first half. But I would like to point out the second half is 22 all if you just isolate that. So if they weren't for that lead, we'd be tied right now. They are playing very well in the second half, but will it be enough? They need to play great. Right now they're playing good. They really need to
They have
lock
to slow
down
them
on
down
defense.
at this point. If they can't slow them down within the next 4 minutes, it's over.
No, absolutely. It's a big 4-minute stretch upcoming here. I want to get a couple of housekeeping items done. VCU's up 42-29 on GMU, well, 42-31. Regardless, so it stands that they're up double digits.
Wow.
That's interesting.
How do you feel about that, Nick?
I had a feeling.
By the way, I want to say I appreciate the likes. Keep the likes coming. Appreciate
y'all been
everyone
amazing.
who's watching as well. The likes very much so help. Subscribing also helps us out
Yes.
here. We have a live stream coming up on Wednesday night. That will be the final one of the semester, actually, because of spring break. That one's against LaSalle. I'm not sure if Dylan will be there for that one. If so,
To check my
then
schedule.
obviously he'll be there. But I know I'll be there.
And I
I'm
will
sure
be there.
Nick will be there. So we'll have something for you. Make sure to tune in Wednesday night.
I think
at 7.
we got one or two more
One
pre-games
more.
than us.
Oh, pre-games? 2 wishfully. In the regular season, we'll do one
Yeah, in
for
the regular season,
tourney,
we'll-
but wishful thinking is 2. Given that we can get them done this week, which is totally possible. It's just, it's tough. It's tough, man, you know. Or maybe you don't know.
It's been a really good.
It's been a great year for us content-wise. Basketball season.
It's been a really honestly. It's been and like even just this game. Like what I am happy with is the last 2 games we've live streamed have at least been better. I know the
First
score
2
doesn't tell the full
stunk,
story.
yeah.
The Richmond game was horrific.
That-
I was miserable.
That was
but that game-
probably aside from Game 3 of the Phillies Mets series, one of my least favorite live streams ever.
That was the single
Game 3
worst.
of
That was the
Phillies
worst
Mets
Duquesne
one.
game I had watched personally
Yeah.
this season.
But that Dayton game that you guys called, that was perfect.
That one hurt.
It hurt, but it was a great game.
That was a
live.
phenomenal.
That was an amazing live stream. Wow, this is chaotic. Wow, what a save by Cam Crawford. So Duquesne has 15 seconds now to set up their offense. And they're going to start with Crawford getting a hand, or Edwards rather, getting a handoff. Now Crawford at the top of the key. Left wing Trey Dinkins. Deep behind the three-point line. Dinkins driving in, guarded by Brown. Now out to Ronsky, who fakes, guarded by Lajay Jones. Floating shot, no good. Rebound Dixon. And they call a foul. I think they're going to call on
On Brown?
Bonaventure. I think that's going to be on Council. unless they get Brown. Now, Council was kind of jumping and jumping. I think they probably should have gotten Brown instead of Council if they maybe, I don't know. I appreciate we actually, right as I said that liking helps, we got another
That's
like.
not a great
Crawford
shot.
got it. Wow. And as soon as I say we got another like, Cam Crawford is a 3.
That was not a good shot, and that's one of those ones you got to take.
Coincidence? I think so.
Because that was not a good read.
I should stop.
He was
trying to
leaning
make
back
myself.
and not balanced at all. I'm surprised.
That was a rough shot, but I think they're towards the end of the
But
shot
they need-
clock too because they saw
No, they
their
reset
offensive-
it.
Oh yeah, you're
You
right.
got to give credit to the
Yeah.
Bonnies because they're not making
Oh!
anything
Slip.
easy for Duquesne
Oh,
on offense.
Jones, don't foul him on the ground.
Oh,
Are
you
you
can't get
kidding
it.
me? Oh, I thought they were
Roll
going
and
to
he's
hit
gonna
that
get
three. I thought after all that, so they got a wide open look with Council. I thought they were going to hit it, and that would just be the story
I mean,
of
this
the
game's
game.
still within reach at this point.
Dinkins draws the matchup to Lajay Jones. I guess he wanted that. Didn't work out for him. Gives to Dixon. Dinkins gets it back. Kicks Edwards. Ronsky
Ronsky.
would be big if it goes.
Can't
No
get it.
good.
They're
Rebound.
gonna get the rebound.
Crawford, shot clock resets. So now here's Dinkins. Dinkins gets a look for 3. Got it!
That's in.
3-point game! Wow, Trey Dinkins coming alive again for the Dukes.
You got to keep feeding him. That was a good setup shot by Hronsky that didn't fall, but ultimately it's got to keep going back to
Holy.
Dinkins.
Good effort on the
offense.
rebound as well down low. I didn't see who got it.
Wow.
I want to say it was Crawford, was it?
I believe it was Crawford.
It's just effortless for Dinkins today from the three.
He's- And just getting beat off the drive could cause chaos. So more driving in.
It's gonna be a foul.
They call the foul on, I believe that was
Dinkins.
Dinkins.
Yep.
So,
Just
Dang.
a 3-point game now.
but I will say, I hate to say it, but that started
It's
with
Crawford.
I believe it was Ronsky who got beat off the drive by Council, and that just threw the whole defense out of array. They have been awful guarding the dribble drive.
No,
They're
they've had
Tonight
problems
it has
that
been
whole
just
day.
that's what's killing. them.
I think they're missing Corbett in a big way when it
They
comes to
are,
yeah.
but also he missed the
He
first free
misses one.
throw.
Chance Moore misses his
That's a gift.
first one.
That is a gift. What did he shoot in the last game? He didn't shoot any free throws in the last game. Also, I think Moore got injured in the last game, so
Yes, he's coming
he only
out.
played 12 minutes.
He's coming back.
Wilborn probably.
We're coming back in.
You would hope it's Wilborn. How many fouls does Wilborn have?
I think with 3.
It's at 3.
So okay, so that's not the end of the world.
Yep, that's exactly who's back in.
Good. And he
And he
missed the
missed
second
both.
one. Wow,
Dude,
Duquesne with
struggle.
the
Wow.
Continue for the Bonnies. I believe they're shooting
They
they're shooting
just-
60% right now from free
That's
throws.
essentially
That's uncharacteristically
wow.
bad for them.
Dinkins dancing, gives to Edwards for the tie. No good.
get it.
Rebounded by Wilborn. Now
Picked up.
Taransky. Crawford spins. Pull up mid range. Got it!
In!
1 point game with 5 minutes to go.
Things are
at
shifted
that.
fast.
Look
Wow,
at that.
that was the essential equivalent of Santa Claus giving a kid a gift with those 2 missed free throws.
The passing for Duquesne is fantastic right now. They have the Bonnies just running all over the court.
I did say the
out of
next 3 minutes are
formation.
going to matter.
Yeah.
Oh my. Driving in, I believe that's Moore. Moore puts it up.
he's
He
gonna
got
get
to
it.
go, but no foul. That was the better.
That is the huge
that's
thing.
the
That was on
Wilborn.
Wilborn.
Yeah, he's got.
That could have been a disaster.
Wilborn's contribution on offense has just been way too important. He's got to stay in the
Yeah.
game.
And one of those contributions for getting that offensive rebound in the last possession. Edwards, he might have had an open 3, didn't take it. Dinkins gets in the left corner now, steps back for 3. If he hits this, I would have lost it. And they call a foul on Noel Brown.
Oh, we're talking about Noah Brown.
Yep.
He's
and he ain't happy.
He's saying that was on Dixon, I believe.
No,
Or
it's
is it-
No,
it's
Wilborn.
Wilborn. No, it's
So
a
look
good
at
thing
this.
it wasn't on him.
Holding it.
Oh,
Who'd they call that on?
believe
that's
they
got to be
called
on
it on
Wilborn,
Brown.
I think, because he was yanking his arm.
Let's see what they called it on Brown.
Well, you can't overturn a foul call. If they're going to, you can't overturn a foul. They can't overturn that. I'm sorry. I know they might have got it wrong, but you can't overturn it.
Can they?
That's not how it works. You call a foul, you can't just
This is going to be a big thing that they're looking at.
you
'cause
can't just magically, unless that was their original call, you can't just magically change a call. That's not how it works in college.
14 fouls for
maybe.
the Dukes, 12 for the Bonnies. So it's pretty close. They've both been pretty aggressive.
I'm not sure what the stoppage of play here is
Yeah,
because
timeout.
that would be
Had
the
to be a
only
timeout.
reason
Doesn't
because
see
you
a
can't
timeout.
you can't overturn a foul call
I mean, you're probably
in
right.
college basketball. That's just not how it works. And if they do that, that's pretty ridiculous. But it's,
Council now up to 17. Ajay Jones still at 24.
and also, if they, let's say they didn't call the foul and they're still discussing, why are we still discussing? You can't just, with a foul call, just be like, take like minutes and be like, oh, now I have come up with the call after I've talked it over for 2 minutes.
I said a firm belief. I talked about it with my dad. We were talking about it with baseball. People should get 90 seconds to look at the replay.
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
I really like what the UFL does. They completely broadcast the conversation the referees are having.
I don't understand
They literally
why no
show
one
you
can-
Yeah, 'cause
they show you
yeah.
the same screen, the same replay feed that the refs are getting, and they like.
I don't understand why no other sport was willing to do this. Not even sports like lacrosse do that.
Yeah.
Lacrosse, out of all of them, should have more incentive to do it.
And speaking of lacrosse, the Duquesne women's lacrosse team
I was going to ask. I
has
don't
kicked
think-
off their season. First streamed game will be on ESPN Plus this Thursday. Catch me.
Was that scrimmage then? They were playing earlier?
My boy Sean McKean. No, that was a game. They have
Okay,
kicked off the season, but they haven't been streaming all the games. Sean McKean on play-by-play. Dylan Fister.
Okay, so they
color.
called- oh, boy.
Check it on Thursday.
They called it on Wilborn.
Oh, that's bad.
Officially, it's on Wilborn, which number one, I hope, was the initial call. And number two is bad because that's his fourth personal foul. And it's a media timeout, is what has been reported on the live stats.
That's
So,
really bad as well because
that's a
he's the
problem.
only guy who's been really matching up with size well on Noah Brown.
And you, yeah.
And Chavi's just not doing good enough.
That was when you had left, Jack. Eli Wilborn went on a tear.
He was.
And was like unstoppable
There was
for
like
about
3 or
2
4
minutes.
plays. It was literally career
Eli
to
Wilborn.
Yeah.
It was like two,
Eli
two or three
Wilborn
plays in a row.
changed our whole lives in 2 minutes.
Well, he's been one of the only It's him and Dave right now down low for the big guys. I mean, Vronsky's big, but he more plays the 3-point line out there.
Yeah, he's
he doesn't
usually like
really
the-
drive in much.
Like really, like go players like 1 to 5. He's like their 4.
Exactly.
Like they're only 5s.
And we haven't really been seeing Chabi in at this point in the game. So you got to just rely on Wilborn and Dixon, but that foul was huge.
That's insane. I mean, it is the right call. One of those cases where it just sucks, but
That is just brutal.
Wilborn was hooking Brown, and he can't.
A little flip of the script here. What do you guys think St. Bonaventure needs to do to keep Duquesne from coming back?
I think they gotta go back to like what's been working, which again, you know that Wilborn's in foul trouble now. I would be doing everything in my power to get the ball to Noel Brown at this point. If he can't make the shots, he can't make the shots.
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep trying to throw up threes because again, they've gotten some threes to fall, but they have not had much falling these last like 3 minutes. I think they've only had like
Agreed.
2 or 3 points
I
fall
think
in the
just
last 3
Duquesne's
minutes.
done a better job of defending. But you know what? I will say what has worked for them all game is a dribble drive. So you got to get those guys that have been doing well, driving the ball in, slashing. You have to get them the ball, which I would say involves Council.
Yep, and
Involves
then
at
Dixon's
times
back in.
Chance Moore and Lajay Jones. I think those are 3 guys you want with the ball.
But if I'm Duquesne, I wouldn't be hesitating to be aggressive down low with them driving in because they got a couple nice shots off with those kind of moves, but they haven't been making the free
Jonah
throws.
Hinton, no good rebounding. That was an air ball. I got to be honest. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to jinx it. But
I'm surprised
I had
Jonah
a
Hinton's
different.
in.
I had a different idea of who you would want to get the ball there to. So
I'm surprised
it was
Jonah
not-
Hinton.
Dinkins gets wide over throw. This will tie the game. It's in and out. And they call a foul inside. It's going to be on Bonaventure. Crawford, where you could see, was trying to leap up, and it looked like he was being held back.
That shot was this close to tying
Oh my
the game.
God, if he hit that shot, it would have
And that's the difference. Like literally at this point, the difference is Council
Shot
got a
making.
hand in his face, falling backwards, and made a ridiculous, unbelievable shot. By the way,
that's the thing
And
is like
that one was a really good shot. Pressure slightly contested, but it just didn't go in.
Crawford for
shot-
3, no good. Rebounded by Dinkins.
Wow, Dinkins.
Rozier for 3. Oh my God, he missed it, and it is saved. But now it could
saved,
be
and that's
trouble.
bad.
And now there's a wide open. It's blocked.
Blocked.
More
No,
blocked
by
him.
Dixon.
No foul.
Oh my God!
Clean block.
Rozier gives Ronsky for the tie. No good. Are you kidding?
And it's gonna be.
Hold on. I think they might have called a. No, it's going to be on St.
Talk
Bon-
about
it's
a
gonna be
lot
St.
to
Bonaventure's
unpack.
ball.
boy.
Oh my God! If they lose
What
this
a
game, oh my
sequence.
Just a
goodness.
few shots
Oh.
that just haven't fallen.
How?
It just slightly pushed it to the
and-
left, just the smallest margin.
Oh my!
And you
gotta
can
be
see the
kidding me.
frustration.
The
there on that
Bonnies are
angle.
giving them these
That is
opportunities.
insane.
Yeah.
They're not going back to what was working in the first half.
No.
You talked about Jack.
Jesus.
You said Jonah Hinton. Why? Like that's an interesting choice to have him shooting that shot.
Well, he has
wa-
counsel now, so.
he was 0 for 5 against the Dukes last time.
Yeah.
I would be
He's up to
feeding
4 fouls
I'd
as
be
well. Oh my
feeding
Goodness,
pick up-
Dixon gets a steal, gives to Dinkins.
3 on
Dinkins
1.
driving. Matus blocked.
And
no
they're not going to call foul.
3
they've
on
been
1.
That's a
play.
big
That-
mistake
who-
that if you
who
lose, you're going to
blocked
kick
that?
back. You're going to kick yourself on that one.
Who
They
blocked
let
that?
I'm not sure.
That was one
Part
of
of
the
me
best
thinks
plays of
it
the game.
was.
They
don't
weren't.
think it was
They were
Jones. I
so
wanna say-
congested.
I wanna say it was
aside.
Yeah, they
Chance.
all just stayed together. They couldn't.
I want to say it was
His
Chance.
Council gets a
It was
switch
Count-
on Dixon. This is not good. Inside Brown kicks out.
way too
Council
open.
for 3.
And
He
that's
got it.
in.
But that's just great job by St. Bonaventure. They got the switch.
Yeah.
That's what they
got the
needed to do.
switch,
They
yeah.
needed to get the ball
Timeout Duquesne.
in the hands of Council, and he capitalized like he has been.
Dang it.
That was a great play from Bonaventure.
They've been shooting well. You give them a wide open shot like that, they're gonna make it. But
Especially with someone like Council.
yeah. But they really let Duquesne get right back into it with those a couple weird offensive possessions for St. Bonaventure. But that shot from Council is a killer there.
This game has just been.
There's just little mistakes. The
This
threes
game has
haven't.
been wacky.
The threes down the stretch haven't dropped. They're
Yeah.
just by the smallest margin. That 3-on-1, you have to space yourself out better than what they did. And why did everybody crowd around the one player and none of them boxed him out?
Yeah. Well,
That was an interesting offensive possession there. That was
Yeah. And again, all credit to Bonaventure there because they've stood strong despite the fight back from Duquesne in the second half.
my dad's watching a stream. He said the Bonnies are the Kansas City Chiefs of college basketball. They are hitting the most ridiculous shots. I'll tell you what.
think
They've
they're
hit a
crazy
couple
shots.
of crazy shots that if they don't fall, I think Duquesne would be winning. If
Yeah.
you look at it, like literally, if you look at the score line.
The Council one's the prime example.
I can't believe Council hit that shot.
And that's just the
And
difference.
Elijah Jones hit that one too.
Yeah, Logic Jones had a really contested one that fell as well.
and
It's just been little
Duquesne's.
things.
Yeah, we just haven't been able to have those shots fall. I mean, I had a lot of praise for Matus Fronsky before the game or the beginning of the game.
He's not shooting the
He's
Council that
well.
he's 3 of 13 right now.
Jeez.
13 threes?
and he.
No, he shot
no,
9 threes.
He's
Scored
th-
nine.
who are you talking?
Okay.
Are you talking Matus?
Yeah, I was
Matus,
Yeah, I
he's
was
3 of
saying
13 from
he's
the
3 of
field,
13 from the
yeah.
field.
Well,
That
he was
was-
the one who took that shot in the 3-on-1.
And well, that's what he took that shot, and
Oh,
he missed 2 of the threes that would have tied, or one of the threes that would have tied the game.
Yeah.
And it's so at a moment like this,
Lord.
we've seen Crawford miss a couple threes. We've seen a couple threes
Matus
get
has missed
taken
some.
that maybe they shouldn't have.
No, that Max Edwards one wasn't great. Even the Cam Crawford one that went in, that wasn't a good shot.
There've been
worked.
there've been a few shots from pretty much every Duquesne player that just are a little bit questionable.
The only one
Maybe
that
shouldn't
really
have
have
been
it has
taken.
been Dinkins.
Yeah,
Dinkins has taken a lot of decent shots.
You got to credit St. Bonaventure. They've really
Sure.
shut Dinkins down. He
Yeah.
hasn't even really been getting many shots off. It seems like they're just double teaming him and then letting the Dukes take their shots elsewhere, and it's just not working out.
No.
I want to say I appreciate the 4 viewers we got going on right now and the 3 likes. Once again, really appreciate the support. The likes help, the views help, the subscriptions help, everything helps. We appreciate you guys. 2 minutes 15 to go. Duquesne trails by 6. They trail by double digits at one point.
This is
They
gonna
had
be-
many points in the second half, but
This
they
is going
still
to
have a
be a huge.
chance.
This is going to be a huge set of these next 2 drives are going to be the most important. They got to get
Agreed.
some bucket and a stop because I think
Some
if you
form
can
of
get
a stop
two,
and a score.
you can get two
Yeah.
two balls in the paint.
Gotta
get a
find
chance.
a way to have Dinkins be open here. I know
Oh, yeah,
the
he's gonna
Bonnies
have to-
are playing so
He's going to
well.
have to make his own magic off
Yeah.
the ball, I think. And they're already got a screen for him. To Dinkins for the layup on an alley-oop. He's
Wow.
creating his
What?
own magic.
What?
You
And-
talked about it.
What an
That-
athletic play! He
Gotta go off the
he-
ball.
He floated on that play.
honestly, it looked like
Yeah,
he
I
just
thought for a
stayed in
second
the air
he
for
was
like
gonna.
5
I
seconds.
thought
there.
for a second he was gonna dunk that, and I'm like, how is he gonna dunk it? And he laid it
Get a
in
Jimmy
pretty
Clark
calm
type
and
play.
controlled. Then
Need a big
They get the
stop
bet.
here.
Okay, good.
Council puts one up.
Inside for Brown. Brown
Way too
fades
open.
away. No good.
He's gonna get a
Rebound.
break.
Dixon, you got to calm things out. You got a minute and a half down by 4. Dinkins has it.
This is
There's
gonna
a
be
guy
the
you
drive.
want with the ball.
You need a bucket here.
Dinkins gives for Rozier. Rozier has it.
Can't take
Over
a
for
stop
Crawford. Crawford fakes. Can't get anything going.
Yeah,
Edwards
lockdown
has
defense
it.
right now from the Bonnies.
Wow. 10 seconds. They got to get something going fast. 8 seconds. 7 seconds now. Rozier. Driving with it, Rozier. Still with it, and he turned it over.
Lovely turnover
Great
there.
defense from the Bonnies. A minute 06 ago is probably your biggest possession of the game, and that's why the Bonnies will take a timeout.
I think
because
the-
if they score here, this one's over.
I think the Bonnies might have.
That might
they
have
might have
just
just
saved
done it
them.
on that possession there. That was
Wow.
a huge defensive stop. Duquesne had it.
By the one
nothing.
person who doesn't usually turn the ball over.
Yeah, Kareem Rozier.
Oh, the irony that Rozier's the one who turns
He,
it over.
he forced a pass what looked like down to Edwards, and it was never open.
That is quite
Also-
the tell for how this game is gone.
The LaSalle game is at 6:30. That is when our stream will begin.
that one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna sting if they.
How
can't.
many times have we done? We're 0 for 4 if they lose this game.
The stats
Just
have been
stop.
painful for
Jeez.
me. Between games I've watched, attended, and live streamed, I'm 2 for
This is-
11.
yeah, this has
I'm
been
2
a
and
My
rough
11.
predictions
year
are about
for
to
you.
fall to 4 and 8. Oh boy.
Oh my God!
I think.
dude.
Oh no, I'm.
No,
Am I?
Oh no,
No, I
you
think
picked
we
you
both
picked
picked the
Duquesne.
Bon- you picked-
I picked Duquesne in this one.
You picked the
Dude, I picked
Bonnies.
Bonnies, dude. I'm about to be 7-5, which in this league, not easy. Not easy in the A10 to predict like that.
For those
dude.
wondering, VCU still sitting on a 9-point lead over
Oh,
George
Mason's come back a
Mason.
little bit.
8 minutes to go there.
I said they have the ability to come back.
Rather
the one thing
large.
Jace has always been done well. They've won 11 games for a reason. They play every game
Yeah,
tight.
cut it to 9. So that's 6:42 left though. All right, here we go. And they get a turnover. Dixon gets it. A
That's a
minute left to
huge
go
break.
now. They got to get a bucket.
Right off the inbound.
Dinkins has it, guarded by.
Dixon
that's
stepping up
more.
with one of the
Wow.
biggest defensive plays if they can.
But
if
it
they
don't
can-
matter. Edwards lost it. 48 seconds, 47. 17 left on the shot clock. Edwards for 3, no good. Rebounded Edwards. Edwards driving in. Almost got
He's gonna
it,
draw the
but he
foul.
got the foul call. 41.6, so that means it's going to be an 11-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
That was not a good shot.
Yeah, these
but a great
shots
effort
going off-
from Edwards.
Understand
These Maximus
now.
Edwards
I
3-point
should've
attempts
made
are
it.
Very
are
questionable.
very crazy in this second half.
been very
but
questionable.
but amazing effort by him to get that rebound.
Yeah.
And now if there's
saved
anybody
himself.
if there's anybody on this team to take the free throws, it is him.
If nothing else, they have to make one here.
yeah.
Well, he's got to make both, but I guess one would be acceptable. First free throw from Edwards, he missed it.
Missed it. He's 80% on the
God,
year.
are you kidding me?
The best
Edwards been
free throw
bad from
shooter,
the line tonight.
and he's been the best one on the team all year.
And I think that's his third miss, I think. Mm-hmm. I know he had 2 at least.
3, I think.
I think
This
he's
is the
got
third
3.
miss.
Gotta make this one.
Second one matters. He made
gets
it.
it.
He rattled it in.
Yeah,
See,
rattles it
That
home.
was not clean
I mean,
at all.
it's not over yet.
That's what they told me, and I don't believe it.
When you have a shooter on
That's
your
why
team,
that's what they said at Dayton, and they broke my heart. So I don't want to ever.
when
say
you have a guy like Dickens who could get a shot off, like the one he
That's
got
true.
off at Dayton,
Yes.
they inbounded that to him, and he
Yeah.
just marched down the court, got the one-on-one, put it up, and
Yeah.
it rattled out. It was so
So
close.
okay, what do you do here? You got 11-second differential between shot clock and game clock. I'm leaning towards not fouling. Do you trust your defense enough to get a stop, or do you start playing the foul game with 41 seconds?
The way that just went, the previous possession, they got the turnover right away, and I'm thinking back to that Dayton game, the way they were able to shut down the inbound, get the steal. I would almost go try to get the steal here.
I think
Yeah.
it's a
but
little
it's hard.
different.
Well, it's hard with how
because,
they've
yeah.
played today.
Especially with the Dayton game, I think they were down by double digits at this exact juncture in the game with like around 40 seconds, or sorry, multiple scores.
Yeah.
So in this situation, you're down by 1 score, and
I would.
you got to.
I
Yeah,
would-
so I don't think I think I'd let it ride.
I mean, especially with
if they make a shot, then
Certainly let it.
they have
made it
the
all
ability,
game.
if they can stop them here, take a 3 and send it to OT. I know you can still lose it the same way that what happened at the very end of the day.
Well, I'd rather not. I don't think that will happen again if we talk. I don't think they're going to intentionally foul again if they don't have
sure
to.
I think they might have had a clear
Oh, they-
conversation about that one. In
I think
practice.
it's very clear.
They're trying
Yeah,
to
so
play-
they're going to play straight up because it'd be silly to foul him here as Edwards almost fouled
They're-
him. So don't foul him.
Wide
Jesus,
open man
guys.
down by the rim.
Why did you foul him? Okay, I guess the 1 and 1. Okay, maybe I didn't
It's
count
going to
for
send
the
them straight to the
1-and-1.
line here.
Maybe I didn't count for the
And
one
they're
and
going to
one
go to
situation,
It's
but
going
like
it's going to fall on Hayton to have to
maybe
make
that
it.
was their plan. Maybe that was this is why Drew Joyce took coaching. I'm not.
Well,
but
I talked. He was cold last time against the Dukes.
Ah,
He was 0 for 5.
didn't he miss 2 earlier?
Yeah, he did.
All right, here we go. 1-1. So if he misses one here, this first one here, Duquesne gets a rebound. They're off and running. They have a chance to tie this game.
This will be the biggest
First
play of
free
the game.
throw is up. It's
That's good.
He nailed that one. Cool, calm, and collected from Jonah Hinton.
Gotta give him credit.
Hinton, a freshman?
Transfer from Panola College. He's a redshirt sophomore.
Wow.
Averaged 14 a game there.
I swear we had someone else from Panola College, did we not? Didn't we have someone from Panola?
I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm
Sure. Second free throw's good. Ballsy. Big free throw shooting there. So now Duquesne is down by 5. Shot clock unplugged. Rozier probably wanted to get it to Dinkins. He didn't. Rozier has it. Driving Rozier, kicking to Edwards. Uh-oh, this can't end well. Dinkins has it, thank God.
Taking way
I at
too
least
much time
appreciate
off.
having Dinkins with a ball. Dixon out for Edwards. 11 seconds. Kicked out. Crawford's going to have to jack up a 3. No good. Rebounded.
Nice
4
game.
seconds left, and that's going to do it. They foul him, and Duquesne's going to drop a tough one to Bonaventure. You play a team like Bonaventure twice. It's tough to beat them twice, and tough to beat them when Bonaventure's guys just played their game.
Got to give the Dukes credit.
Yeah.
They looked a lot
those
better.
students don't know that they're going to lose in the first round of the A-10 tournament, so
Oh
I
boy.
They
wouldn't
can-
count out Bonaventure at
they
this
can
point.
have their win.
If there's one team who could finish in the bottom 5 and still make a big run,
I've
it's them.
been turned off by Bonaventure through a lot of their conference play. I'm not really in on them lately. I think that there's better teams out there, and I think the way things are looking, with a lot of solid teams in the A-10 being shuffled around, I think a lot of fun is going to be had at the A-10 tournament, like last year. Top 4 seeds last year lost. We're going to see how it plays out this year, but for now, Duquesne drops one to St. Bonaventure, 70-63. And, well, we're 0-4 on the live streams, but
And they're now 1-7 on the road this year.
you guys want a positive? It's 6 o'clock and it's still light outside.
Summer is around.
That's my
the
only
corner.
positivity from this one, but
Spring has sprung, and another shameless plug as the lacrosse season is underway.
Yes.
I love
Check out the
lacrosse.
ESPN Plus streams. Me and Jack are going to be calling a bunch of games all season
I'll
long.
be trying to get involved.
Catch us
Football.
on there as it
Yes.
is beautiful outside. In
Oh,
the city
yeah.
of
I'm going to
Pittsburgh.
go to you guys for thoughts final thoughts in a second before we sign off. But before we do, I want to say my piece, and that's we do appreciate the support.
Yes.
Got about 40 views on this one. They had 5 people at the peak towards the end of this game
Let's
here.
go.
We appreciate the support. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe if you can. We appreciate the support of Duquesne Student Television. We're gonna go to you guys for your final thoughts. I don't care who starts first. I don't know. I think
Go for it, Nick.
here's your final thought from me is that St. Bonaventure made a lot of shots. Their guys played really well, and Duquesne had a couple of guys out that end up mattering in the end to me. But not much to write home about in terms of how I view this Duquesne team. I still think
Yeah.
they're a good team. I think with Corbett and Netchus, I think things could be a little better, and I think they might win this game with those two. But that is ultimately wishful and just analytical thinking. Doesn't matter in the end. Duquesne loses this one. They got 4 more to go to tune up for the A-10 tournament. You go first, Nick?
Yeah, I can. This is one of these games that's like, it's frustrating because at this point, I really thought they could finish 6th, and that's a game where if you want to avoid playing the first day, that one's gonna sting. That one's really gonna sting.
It's
if
been a
you wanna
long list of
avoid.
them that sting this year, right?
There's a few. Yeah, the Dayton one stung.
Yeah.
The way they played on the road against St. Joe's, that really bad Richmond game. But like, this is one of these ones where like, it never really once felt like they were out of it. At least I believe that. It never felt like that. It was just, there's a difference between being out of it and there's just the other team just being just being one step ahead, I believe. And it was just one of those games where St. Bonaventure just consistently was one step ahead. I mean, how many times are they going to, I mean, how often this season are you going to see, what am I bad with names? Laje Jones be the leading scorer for them?
Roger Jones was a dog. He had 24 His season high, his career high is 24, by the way. He did not get his season
And who had the
high.
next highest after that?
That was Melvin Council, and I thought he
17.
played really well
He
tonight.
also played well. But Council's always been their main, like one of their main faces. To see
By
a
the
guy
way,
like that put up 24 is just.
Council and Jones played all 40 minutes in this game.
And so I guess final thoughts is I think they would. I know the injuries are going to affect them, but I look at two things that cost them. They turned the ball over way too much in the first half. They played really sloppy, and I know it didn't necessarily translate into points, but it's the fact that they kept killing every ounce of their momentum when they were playing good offensively. Those mistakes add up after a while. And then the second thing was a defense that just was uncharacteristically bad. And I know the second half was just a lot more kind of bad luck more than anything, because they had like 3 or 4 shots that I obviously sat there. I'm like, how on earth did those fall in? But in the first half, it was almost way too easy for say Bonaventure to drive in and constantly get shots from the post or the paint, like way too easy to get inside and have open looks in those spots inside. There was not enough pressure down low, and that ultimately shot them in the foot, and I think cost them this game.
I'm going to kind of bounce off what you said there, Nick, with the Bonaventure staying one step ahead. They kind of just got up in that first half, and in the second half, Duquesne they stayed with them. Like you said, they were able to keep their head in this one. They actually outscored them in the second half. It was 33-31 in the second half, but they dug that hole and they couldn't get out of it. But I liked seeing the resilience from Duquesne. I liked seeing how the offense visually improved as the game went on. I think that's a big takeaway, and I think that's something to keep looking for in the next game. But, they've got a little bit of an easier one now with LaSalle. Hopefully they can pick up a big win there on the road, and they get to come back home. Like we said, they've got some big games coming up, but they start the first 2 at the Cooper Fieldhouse. I think it was a rough game for the Dukes. There were certainly a lot of moments where you thought maybe if they had just hit one more 3, they could have pulled that one out. Definitely a heartbreaker there. But for St. Bonaventure, a very promising win as they look. Their next few are a little bit easier, so they can head into conference play with a little bit of momentum if they can capitalize on these next 3 games.
Yeah, you got to be happy if you're Bonaventure. And again, that's the key thing right there. 18 points in the paint versus 30. 30 points. And that's where I think Bonaventure really shines. You have a big roster. I genuinely think they have one of the bigger rosters.
They do.
Probably a top 5 or top 3 biggest roster in the A10.
Every game they play, it feels like they got some guys, some matchups that they tower over.
They have the size to bully people down low. And, even someone like Elijah Jones, he's a pretty big dude.
He's listed as a guard.
And he's a guard. We talked about Bellagio?
Bologna.
Thank you.
The Bellagio Hotel.
Yeah, that's what
Had a great time.
That's what my brain was thinking.
By the way, Jones had 5 steals. I don't think we realized that, but sorry, I thought there was a eye-opening stat.
But yeah, I guess
go ahead.
I guess the very last thing I'll say is, if you're St. Bonaventure, like you said, they got an easy-ish end of the year.
Schedule. Yeah.
This is a school I would definitely be looking out for, because again, they had high expectations. Honestly, same way as I think a lot of Duquesne fans had about this team, and it's just been kind of a really up and down year. Except they had an amazing non-conference start, and have had really rough losses during conference. And I think if you're St. Bonaventure, and this will be the last thing I say, that win is one of those games, one of those ones that gives you the confidence to thinking you can beat anybody. They have been able to beat some of the best teams in the conference. And that win was kind of like a statement right there, I believe.
I'll tell you what, Bonaventure and Duquesne played 3 times last year. They played their 2 regular season matchups. They met in the semifinals. There is certainly hope for both sides, and at some point, these teams might meet up in the tournament. That will do it for us here on DSTV in this live stream. We'll be back at it on Wednesday. For Dylan Pfister, Nick Fernbaum, Jack Morgan, we appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, everyone. Dukes lose this one.